Hello.
I really wasn't ready for that one. That was surprised me.
You guys were like in sync. I was surprised. I'm surprised all the time.
Dibs on not being Justin. Never
Dibs
mind.
on not being Justin?
We're like
Oh,
in sync.
Oh.
I'm living in the
yeah.
past, folks. I'm living in the past.
No, but that's fair. That's a fair concern.
That would have been a really funny joke in the 90s.
In the 90s, we'd be.
We wouldn't know about them yet, would
in
we?
the 90s, we'd all
First album
probably
was
want to be
2001, I
Justin,
think.
wouldn't we? Because that was
Wow.
before we knew the truth.
Okay. Sorry. I'm not up for my NSYNC lore.
Well,
I don't know
apparently
if
they
you
were
wanted to
active
start
from
with
1995. I'm sorry. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
How's it going?
We are in
Yes.
sync.
We're
We look,
insane.
we look a little different. The years have been.
We had to rebrand.
We had to rebrand. But we're here, and as is customary as members of NSYNC, we're here to play an indie RPG game. You know that this is our claim to fame, playing indie RPG games.
That's what most people know us for.
And our
There was
sing
a music
modes.
thing.
Those are the two things.
All sing modes will be NSYNC themed tonight if you are watching on Twitch. So.
Oh God.
Incorrect. Sure won't be.
Oh
If
my
you're watching
God.
on YouTube, they'll all be Backstreet Boys themed. So
Oh my
that's
goodness.
why the
That's
caveat
right.
was added.
Also, hello,
Correct.
Rapala. How's it going? Welcome on in.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome indeed. I guess I should say some other stuff, like hi.
Yeah, say some stuff.
I'm
Should you
Amanda.
sing some other stuff though? Because
I should, because the sing mode was redeemed. Hello, I am Amanda. This is my musical intro.
Ba ba ba. No, that's the wrong band. Fuck.
I am a streamer and a cosplayer and a YouTuber, and I'm also an actor. And I'm here today as a variety streamer to introduce you to my friends, Kurt and Anthony.
Hello, it is me. My name is Lance Bass, and I grew up in Mississippi and rose to fame as the bass singer for the American pop boy band NSYNC. But
Are you
But these
reading this
days-
on the screen?
hold on,
No.
wait. No, hold on, wait. Lance Bass sang bass in NSYNC. You did not just reveal that to us in the world today. Is that true?
whoa, that's true. That's what it says.
He's like,
That's
I
a universe joke
brought
right there.
bass to bass. Oh boy.
What's that called? Nominative determinism, when whatever your name is determines what you do with your life.
I remember in the
Classic
olden
case.
times, I was in English class and we were reading The Death of a Salesman. And I read about the title of the protagonist, which some of you may recall is Willie Loman. Loman because he's just a low man. And I said, English teacher, that's too on the nose. There's no subtlety. Why would you do this? English teacher didn't write it. And English teacher said, it's a choice that they've made, but now I understand it. Now I feel like not just because of Lance,
Bass?
bass singer Bass, but because that's just fun. It's a little treat. It's a little treat if people wanna engage with it. Why not give people apt names?
Why
They're
not?
out there. They're out there.
Yeah.
Why not?
They exist, apparently. We just learned. So Lance, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about yourself?
Well, after moving to Russia to engage in space tourism, I kind of decided to take on a new life, where I write kids' books, study the economics of happiness, and I've changed my name to Anthony. Also, I love playing role-playing games, mostly with my friends Kurt and Amanda. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. And we were playing. This is a very special day for me, and maybe for Kurt as well, because normally Kurt is the one who has the game all stored up in here before we begin, and then he unfolds upon us all the things we need to know about the game. But today I am Kurt. Today I will unfold the game for you all in my brain. And I have been very excited to play this game for a while. I met the designer over a year ago, and I was like, we're going to play a game on this weird stream that I do. And here we are, playing that game on a weird stream that I do. But before we get to that, we got to introduce our third member. Who the heck are you over
Who
there?
the heck are you, Kurt?
I guess I better pay my dues. My name is Kurt, and I'm one of the three. My name is Kurt, and I like to play RPGs. I'm here today. I didn't read the game at all. No, I'm just here to have a ball. Also, I had to make the overlay.
You did.
Yeah.
You
You
did.
did make the
It looks
overlay.
really good. And
Wait.
it matches the thumbnail. It makes me very happy. It's quite a bit of synergy. I love when there's the synergy between the thumbs and the overlays. It's like something very satisfying about that. DiCarlo, tornado warning. Oh no. Well, yes. Stay safe, DiCarlo, please. Watch. What's up? Everyone's having. Last time we had hurricane warnings in chat. Now we got tornado warnings. Ay, ay, ay. Hey, Nick.
Hey.
Hey, Danny. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Chris. Hey, Rapala. I think I said hi to everyone in chat. Hello. And hello to everyone that is also watching over on YouTube. And the people that might be watching on Twitch that are here but, are just quietly biding their time. Critter Nation, hello, hello. The world is ending, yes. That's why we're here to tell you a story, as we hydrate, about castles.
Yeah, that's right, about a very different world. If this world's going to end, why don't we go to a different,
A
better world?
world.
Let's go
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
with really
consider this
big
an addition.
castles.
Yeah. Well, even better than that, a world inside a really, really big castle.
What?
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 Yeah. Should we get down to it? Any other business you want to talk about, Amanda, before we get to the game?
I mean, I should set up the wheel, but I think I'm gonna grab a paper towel while you explain the game, and I'll set up the wheel while you're describing it, because I can hear while I'm doing things.
Sounds good.
Talent.
My
So
headphones are wireless. Anyway.
Wireless.
What? But anyways, everyone please stay safe. Also, Lanique, hello. Hello, Atomic Sorcery. Hero request. Heroes of your creation. What a lovely heroes request. Do you know what I was thinking? I just have this quick aside before I leave. The other day, I was thinking about how some people's streams, people are like, you could have a wheel of pain. You could do all these things. And I'm like, I don't really like the idea of a wheel of pain. That sounds like I'd be very miserable, and I wouldn't like that very much. And then I thought, even if I did a wheel of pain, I would need some way for my chat to save me from that, because that's what my chat would do. My chat wants to interact in a way that will save me from the pain, because there's so much kindness in the chat. It's like the opposite of every other streamer where their chat just wants to see them suffer. I'm like, my chat wants to avoid all suffering. They're like, let's save Amanda from suffering.
that's adorable.
It is really adorable, isn't it? I was just thinking about that, and I was like, what the heck? How big are these castles? Are we talking Heron Hall big? I think so. I think maybe even bigger than Heron Hall.
No, unfortunately,
Oh.
we're talking much, much,
Much
bigger than
bigger.
Heron Hall.
Oh,
Much,
wow.
Much bigger than Heron Hall.
I wonder if we'll have nightmares like in Heron Hall, and if it'll be haunted. Also, Schoolboy, hello. And Cherry, congrats on your 3-stream streak. Thanks for streaking. Watch streak. Woo! Yep. I appreciate you. Thanks for sharing the streak with all of us. I don't think S&M is allowed under TOS. Yeah, but people do it anyways, and I respect it. I respect the love of S&M on Twitch, and people want to suffer. But I'm not one of those people, and I'm glad that my chat doesn't like to see me suffer, because I don't like suffering.
Oh, man.
The S stands for suffering.
Suffering.
Suffering in Manda.
I know what S&M stands for, but I'm just saying S&M, there is a part of it that is definitely about suffering. Through suffering, much enjoyment. Look, I did a whole what was it called? I did a whole thing
What
on
was it
S&M.
called?
How's it going? Oh, what kind of thing?
I did like a course on S&M.
Of course.
Yeah. Getting
Cool.
connecting with my, the submissive side of myself and the dominant side of myself and a little bit of
Sick.
S&M, BDSM vibes. But anyways, I'm going to go get that paper towel.
Amanda
That's
never
tassels.
ceases to surprise us. In case you
Never.
folks think that we're in on every joke and every little tangent, no, not at all.
Always a surprise.
Always a surprise.
I'm gonna
Okay.
end more conversations by going. Anyways, I took a course on BDSM. Yeah, so bye. Definitely Atomic Sorcery. Please post mech castles to the Discord for inspiration. That will be very useful.
Anthony, Amanda has wireless headphones, so you can
so Amanda
tell
can
us
hear.
things.
Okay, great, amazing. Well, today, DeCarlo, to answer your question from way up above, we are playing Colossal, a fantasy adventure game that takes place inside a castle so large that the rooms themselves can enclose continents, oceans, entire biomes. You can grow up your whole life in a single room, looking up into the sky and only occasionally glimpsing the rafters far, far above you. This is a game dreamed up by Nick Angel, who I had the pleasure of meeting a year ago, and Nick is amazing. Wrote the whole game and all of its many expansions. I think we're on expansion 3 right now, and does all the artwork himself as well, and packages and creates and ships the game. And it was really cool to go to his workspace and see it all. And I have been dreaming of playing the game since then. This game is a bit funky. Oftentimes, we play games that can take any number of players, and we always play with 3. 3 is our number. This game is a one-player RPG or a storytelling game. And that's right, a one-player RPG. When I heard of a one-player RPG, I was like, but how? And it turns out that these sorts of games are played as kind of as journaling games, where you're basically like writing. You're like writing a story, but you have the structure of the game to take you along the way. Rules for what things you might encounter, what might start your story, and you can choose the path that your character takes. So, luckily, Nick created a 2-player version of the game in the first expansion, the Roomlands, and then I this week just slightly tweaked it so that we can play a 3-player version of the game. So don't worry, we won't be journaling for the next 3 hours because I think that might be a bit dull to watch. But we will be.
They've watched Amanda do taxes.
Hey, that's a good point. Actually, we're gonna turn this.
And they loved it.
They loved it.
The tax stream was really popular, and people to this day are still like, when are we doing another tax stream? I'm like, I would like to prepare better for the next year, so I probably will do another tax stream, by the way, for anyone that's watching this that's like, gosh, enough of this, more tax streams. But also, I did do an RPG stream where we played we played a solo journaling game, but I played with my friend Ruel on Words on Wednesday, and it was actually really fun. It was like, it is a little bit like when you're writing, I'm sure that's not like the most interesting thing to watch, but hearing us tell the story of what was happening in our games was really and then discussing it with each other was really interesting and really
you guys actually journaled on screen?
We did. We did a little bit of the game. We did like maybe like I want to say like 20 or 30 minutes of it, so it wasn't super long.
Wow,
what game? Cool. What game was it?
It was a game about making food. Let me see if I can
Stew
find
pot.
it.
No, maybe not.
Wow.
Food journaling game. And it's like you're cooking a meal for someone. Kirk, thank you for subscribing over on YouTube. I have to look it back up.
Sure. I'll do a little Google. Anthony's got things to, I'm sure, great knowledge to bestow upon us.
I'll shoot Ruel a little message as well while Anthony continues to explain. Also, I'm enjoying this explanation very much. And I think the best way to have someone explain something is actually for me to mute my mic and walk away because it's less tangential.
Whenever we need to get through some content, we'll just be like, Amanda, why don't you go get a tea?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't turn Pomodoro off? What the heck?
What the heck?
What
On
the
most
heck?
streams, if somebody types in chat, "I wish you were doing taxes," it's an insult. But normal state of affairs for Amanda's stream. Stretch.
Thanks for the stretch.
I
Okay.
actually need
And
it
a
so
posture
badly.
check. Thank
Yeah, it
you.
actually like feels pretty good. Whew.
Like, I'm not kidding.
Atomic Sorcery, repping the solo games in chat. I've never played a solo game before, and I would really like to. I think that'd be really fun.
I'm wondering
also
if Danny has played any solo games, because Danny is a writer, and I'm just wondering if he's ever done that for, like, prompts. I put that in. Lol, Pomodoro and S&M. S&M does not have a command.
Well, diddle-dee-dee, potatoes! That's my phrase for getting into my Irish accent. Now I have to explain the rest of the game in
You sure do.
Irish accent.
I won't be helping you at all. What a
Oh,
perfect
dear.
day to not have to participate in explaining the rules.
Well, unfortunately, Kurt, there is a bit of rules, a bit of a description that I was going to ask you to help me to read. So I think you're unfortunately back in, my friend.
No!
Yes, that's right. If I could please ask you to turn to the world of Colossal in the base rulebook, you might want to help me out in a second. It's on page 11.
What
But in the
kind
meantime-
of page 11? On the
On
PDF
the
page
actual
11?
page.
Or...
Oh, actually, I think in this PDF, it's the same thing. Imagine that. The best PDF we've ever seen.
That is the best PDF we've ever seen.
Thank you, Nick.
Never
You're
seen one
officially
so
the
accurate.
best game designer we've ever featured on this show. You figured out how to get the PDF pages to match the on-screen pages.
Round of applause for Nick. Jeff's in chat for Nick.
To give you a bit of a sample of what's going to happen, all three of us are going to create characters, and we're going to go on a bit of an adventure through the rooms that make up the Colossal. But what's so important about this game is the world that it takes place in. So we are going to introduce you a bit to this world. Amanda, if you want to, do you want to join us in the reading, or do you have work to do over there?
I can join us in the reading if you'd like me to. DiCarlo is asking which dialect are we doing, and I don't think.
DiCarlo, is it not super clear?
I think maybe DiCarlo's asking what region of Ireland. I don't know
fuck
what
me.
region I sound like I'm from when I do an Irish accent. I don't have anything specific in mind when I do it, I guess, but I'll just throw it out there and say Cork, and if you're from Cork and you don't sound anything like this, then never mind what I said. Just forget that I said it. Just to pick an area, if that's what you're asking. We unlocked community games, so I think we're doing Among Us and Fall Guys in Lucy's stream on Wednesday. Oh, nice. That's great. That'll be really fun. I gotta check that out Wednesday. Oh, I'll be streaming.
Why is she always streaming?
Well, if Lucy's on when I'm around, and I have a photo shoot on Wednesday, but I'll try to pop in at least. I don't know if I can play on mobile while I watch a stream, but maybe. I'll try to make an appearance. That sounds so fun. That's great. Anyways.
All right. Welcome to the world of Colossal. Has this been long enough on the accent?
I think we've done enough. I feel like, Rapal, are you content? Daniel, good night. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have good sleeps, my friend. Have good sleeps.
I'm going to start. And Kurt, do you want to take the second paragraph in a second?
Sure, that sounds good to me.
Cool. The Colossal is an impossibly massive castle, the interior of which is so large that mountains, valleys, towns, cities, and even oceans fill its rooms. The ceilings and roof are so high they are beyond sight, shrouded by the misty expanse of the sky that sits within its vaulted heights.
There seems to be no finding the exterior of the castle, though many adventurers have tried, crossing continental distances only to reach the wall of another room. For those who have ventured past a wall, they find only more rooms on the other side, with new lands stretching off far into the distance.
before I read my paragraph, welcome on in, raiders. What was I going to? I was going to say streamers.
Streamers?
Lucy's a streamer, so welcome on in, Lucy, who's a streamer.
Hi, Lucy.
And
The
any
rest
of
of
you
you,
in
we
the
don't care.
raid that are also streamers, welcome on in, raiders. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh my goodness, some people that were literally in my stream are the people that are also raiding from Lucy's stream. That's brilliant. I love it.
Talent.
Lucy, I heard that
Yeah.
you unlocked community games, so very exciting. I heard you're playing some community games on Wednesday. Also, next Thursday, do you want to play more Man of Medan if you're free? I was going to ask you, but now since you're here, I may as well ask you anyways. For those of you that might be new to my stream, I don't know if anyone here is new, but if you are new, my name's Amanda. You can call me Vamp if you want, or Vampy. I am a variety streamer. Tonight, we are streaming our indie RPG night. We do this typically almost every Monday. Not quite every Monday, but most Mondays. And we're playing a lovely game called Colossal about really big castles. It's typically a solo journaling game, but we're expanding it to have it be 3 people. I'm playing with my lovely friends, Kurt and Anthony, who are just delightful to play RPGs with. And if you were wondering, what the heck is an indie RPG? The heck does that mean? Well, if you've ever heard of a little game called Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder, these are tabletop
Haven't heard of it.
RPGs. Haven't heard
I'll tell you
of
later,
it.
Kurt.
These are more mainstream RPGs. The ones that we play are independent. They are small RPGs. Sometimes that means they're smaller in terms of length or size, so the books might be really short. This one is quite a bit more extensive, I would say, for us in terms of all of the rules that you could play with. But it is as well a game that probably most people haven't have heard of in the tabletop community. So we love playing games that, you know, don't get as much light shone on them. So if you ever want to find something cool and new, that also, I will say, I think a lot of indie RPGs also tend to be more affordable to get into, more accessible in terms of all the things you need to learn to play. That's what we do here. So, yes.
Yeah, and if you've been looking, if you want to get into RPGs and you're like, it's hard to get a group together, this game is particularly good because you can just play by yourself.
By yourself.
Like, you just need a little
Yeah.
taste of RPG.
Yeah.
Which is pretty exciting.
And yeah, other than that, if you are new just to my stream in general, yeah, this is one of the things we do on Mondays, but I also do play video games. I do just chatting streams. I build Legos. I do cosplay. I do watch along parties. I open cards. I love lots of tabletop stuff, so including TCGs like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, things like that. So welcome on in. That's me, and that's what we do. Do you get these off drive-through RPGs? Some of them.
Almost, actually, none of them. No, none of them at all.
None of them.
Some of them are available
Some of them
through there, though.
Are on there.
Critter, I get a lot of them through itch. I will expand on that in the chat as we keep telling you more about the world of Colossal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Do you wanna
bye,
read the third
Lucy.
paragraph?
Yes,
Oh,
go
bye,
do all
Lucy.
your things. And Lucy says, "Let's make it happen." Yeah. So Lucy, if you got to go off, take care of yourself, rest up. I know you've been sick, so please take care of yourself. Also, just you've been streaming, so Thursday, Man of Medan. Yes, either this Thursday or next Thursday. I'm flexible, but I would say next Thursday might be better because this
This is a
Thursday I got to
scheduling
stream early.
in case anybody wanted to.
Yeah, I'll
we
message
just
you.
kinda- we
I'll
schedule
message you.
stuff. Yeah.
I'll message you. Let's get back into it. But sweet,
Do you
good to
wanna
know that
read
Lucy's down.
The third paragraph on that page, Amanda, or do you have to wheel it up?
Yes, I will do the third paragraph, and also I will say shout out to Lucy before I do that. And also, I did not know there was a free RPG day. Juba, that's really cool. I didn't know about that. There was a free RPG day? Did you guys know about this?
Yep.
What?
I didn't.
Huh.
I was asked to participate, but I wasn't in town, so it goes.
So it goes.
Kurt, can I make you like some kind of thing? Can we make Kurt like a VIP or something so Kurt can share
So you can
links?
post links.
Yeah, I should do that. If you send me the link, I will post
Oh,
it
I
for you.
see.
If you,
I
or
did
if you
not
whisper it
mean.
to Rapala.
I see. It was technically a link. Whoopsie
Yeah.
doodle.
No, you're good. I just have it off because of spammers. It's not because of anyone in here. um, the Ick games. Yes, Ick games. AKA Itch. Is it just, are you just putting itch.io?
I have changed it to itch, so all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Itch.io. There it is.
Itch.io,
There it
that's
is.
where a lot of the games come from. But there are some of them that are available on drive-thru. Okay. That said, many features you would expect from the Colossal's normal-sized counterparts are present, such as staircases, windows, doorways, balconies, towering statues, burning braziers, pillars disappearing into the clouds, and long, gloomy corridors. Oh, the long, gloomy corridors.
No adventurer has yet found their way to the rooftops, the battlements, which they suspect might grant them a view that sheds some light on the true nature of their world. But maybe you will be the first.
Although all manner of threats exist out in the wilds, such as strange animals and beasts and other barbaric or dangerous people, the greatest dangers of all are the rooks, huge hulking stone automatons that patrol somewhat mindlessly out in the wilds of the Colossal's rooms.
That is, until they are disturbed. Every rook is different. There are no two the same, and they are the only source of magic in the world. As such, the only. They are something of a target to hunters looking for tech they can scavenge, artifacts they can sell, or magic crystals to grant them strange and unpredictable powers.
But only if they can bring one down. Every room of the Colossal sees daylight thanks to its brazier. Is that the right way to say that word? I have
Unfortunately, yes.
Brazier.
Brazier. Do we have to roll the R's, Amanda? Brazier.
No, I think of that song that, what was it, that Bette Midler sings in the movie about the two girls, they die. One of the girls dies.
Oh my god, apparently it's Brazier, like rhymes with Frasier.
Brazier?
No
Nah,
way.
let's say Brazier. It sounds way cooler. But
I
I
know,
always
you
think
know,
that
I'm
song
hearing
that she
this.
sings about Mr. Titsling, who invented the brazier. I think you could say it brazier if you want. I'm accepting it.
Well, let's say it is brazier, and maybe in our version of Colossal, there are burning bras hanging from the ceiling of every room.
Liberation!
Liberation! Burn
It's
the
a very
bras!
feminist castle that we live in.
Yeah.
Where were we? Okay. Every room of the Colossal sees daylight thanks to its brazier, a huge burning light source hanging impossibly high in the rafters. At night, the brazier dims to a gentler white light. No one knows how or why this happens, but it is said that some rooms have their night when others have their day.
High atop columns and nestled in the ceiling rafters live the gargoyles, strange winged reptilian creatures that sometimes swoop from on high to pick off lonely, unsuspecting travelers, far from civilization. Little is known about them, but it is said that when a gargoyle attacks, it carries you up to where it lives.
Many believe that when you die, it's got morbid, your soul is drawn to the front gate of the Colossal, a place immeasurably far from any other known location. The journey of death begins by crossing the moat and discovering the lands beyond. This is but a story, but perhaps it holds some truth.
Explorers talk of many strange lands far out in the Colossal. Wild jungles spreading up massive staircases, icy polar regions encasing huge human skeletons trapped in glaciers, thin corridors between rooms, arid and dry and filled with desert sands, winds blowing sandstorms through huge windows. Explorers have theorized that some areas of the Colossal have multiple floors before one reaches the mythical battlements far above. Forests stacked upon deserts, stacked upon oceans, stacked upon mountains and canyons.
Life, nature, even people, always find a way to live in the most impossible circumstances, and the Colossal is vast beyond imagining. Any combination of lands, peoples, and the castle itself are possible. Who knows what you will find when you step out to discover what secrets it holds?
We will be playing characters who have grown up their whole lives
The
in
art
the
is
lands
so
of the Colossal.
cute.
Yeah, all by Nick himself. It's really beautiful.
It's really good. Can I show
We're
some
gonna-
of this art to people?
Yeah, sure. If you can.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me select it.
Select that art.
I'm gonna. Oh, this is not the right one.
This is the wrong art.
I need
This is the wrong art.
I
Oh
need the
no! This is my
full-
BDSM textbook.
Oh no.
I wish I'd studied harder.
Oh boy. Yeah, it wasn't like in school. It was not that formal.
No?
No. I'm
Is
making
getting a
it
D in BDSM class a good thing, or does it just mean you're dumb? You know, it's like, is it bad?
We didn't get graded. There was no grading.
No.
that
Then what's the
happened.
point? I need
What's the
validation.
point?
It was about self-discovery. Oh, it is big. Oh. Wait, is it? Oh yeah, you can see the art. Look at that
Yeah,
art.
we can.
It's kind of a weird way that I showed that. Sorry that it's rounded, but you get the idea. There you go.
Yeah.
But the art is
The-
really good. Look how cute
the
it
art's
is.
amazing. So
Anyways.
cute. All right.
Yes.
You can see in that picture that you've got some people who have weird stone arms attached to them. You've got
I
a tiny
think
little
you
castle
need
running
to
behind you.
be speaking in German.
Oh.
Because now we are
Oh.
doing a German dialect.
Oh, I see. We all.
So-
Let's see.
Yes. It must be a good dialect. Duolingo practice, yes.
I wish
Easy-
there was Duolingo just for accents. Would be very good.
yeah. It
Yeah.
it would be very good.
Very good.
Very good.
We will be playing characters who've grown up their whole life. I don't know if I can do a German accent. In the Colossal, the lands of the Colossal itself. So we are going to make some characters up next. And Amanda and Kurt, if you could turn in the base rules just down to maybe page 16 all the way down to page 23-ish. That will give you...
16?
Yeah. There are 4 characters.
All the way
4
down.
classes.
To
Way down.
I'm
all
going to be
survey.
playing as the followed. And so I've picked a character class already. I have a little rook who follows me like a dog or a cat.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Let me tell you a little bit
that
about
is sehr cool.
the different classes as you're choosing them. So there are 4 classes. There is the armed, there is the
Yeah.
followed, there
The
is
followed.
the helmed, there is the mounted. The armed has taken one of the stone
The
arms off-
mounted.
The mounted, yes.
Sounds very could be in my class. The mounted.
Oh,
You're in a mood today, Amanda. So sassy.
Chat started it. I just ran with it. Also, Cherry, thank you so much for the kind comment. I'm so glad that our chat earlier today gave you the confidence to set that boundary with someone. That means a lot. That means a lot. Also, I will say honestly that my S&M class that I took was very good for. You're right, I do kind of sound French when I'm doing this accent. It was very good for helping me to set boundaries. So I would
Makes
say
sense.
that is a cool thing that you can do with S&M. Is it can empower you to set those boundaries. Yeah, now I'm just French. I don't know.
Amanda, do you actually want to be the mounted, or do you want to hear about all these classes before you choose?
Yes, yeah.
Because Kurt's already got his. He moves so fast.
I would like to, but the mounted is one that I'm initially drawn to.
Okay.
And
Well,
all seriousness.
Let me give you a quick rundown, because also the classes are kind of a cool little part of the rules. Just the world of Colossal. They kind of tell you sort of like how people are interacting with the rooks. The rooks, these like gigantic automatons made of just stone that sort of patrol the wilds and are basically morph all of life in the Colossal. Towns, cities need to be built in order to defend common people from these rooks, and they are indeed the only source of magic in the world. And in some cases, the most common source of technology, of structures. Most people live in the bodies of rooks that have been defeated and moved to form settlements and sort of repurposed to house people. And our 4 types of adventurers are all based on using some of the strengths of the rooks in order to strengthen yourself. So the armed have an actual arm from one of the rooks connected to them. This arm can be anything, right? You can imagine you could have like big like spidery arms, or like massive like stone carrying arms, buzzsaw arms that like can propel you through the water. Anything you can imagine can be an arm, and they're attached to a human through sort of some intricate and ancient lore and sort of rituals that bond together the rook and the human. The Followed make use of a strange feature of the rooks that no one really understands. Inside of every rook, most of the time at least, there is a tiny rookling, a little sort of 2 to 4 foot tall miniature rook, a tiny stone automaton that is growing within the larger rook. And while the rooks themselves are pretty hostile, the rooklings can be quite friendly and can be trained to aid an adventurer in their path. The rooklings can look like anything you want. As much diversity as there is in the rooks, there are in the rooklings. And if you play the Followed, you have a rookling companion, and you might even collect more as you go.
It's cute.
The Helmed takes actually the core magical components of the rook and use it to their own advantage. To be a helmed, you have to understand the deep, intricate workings of the rook to a great deal, and they actually create a helmet from the magical stone that powers the rook, and they use that in order to cast their own spells. So similar, if you've played games with magic users or casters, that is the Helmed. The Helmed are very good at combat, but not as good at exploration. And those are kind of the 2 stats that we're going to care about this time. So each of our classes has an exploration score, a combat score. The Armed are pretty balanced, but better at combat. The Followed are also relatively balanced, but better at exploration. The Helmed are very good at combat, but not great at exploration. And our final class, the Mounted, are mostly good at exploration, but also less good at combat. And the Mounted have the most technical knowledge about how the rooks work. They are tinkerers, and they're able to take pieces of the rook to build contraptions, vehicles that they can sort of patrol through the wilds. And so that gives you an amazing ability to explore the diverse landscapes of the Colossal. And so you can like build like boats and walkers, or like cool like dune bikes and buggies and anything you can imagine, and that's part of your character that you're going to take into the Colossal.
Cool.
So, anybody have any dreams? Kurt's on it. He's got the Followed. Amanda?
I think I'm gonna stick with the Mounted, actually.
Sick.
Boom.
That's awesome.
Is that
happening.
cool?
I think that's really cool.
Okay, cool.
That's really cool.
Cool.
So what I would invite you guys
We're all
to do
about exploration
is...
right now. DiCarlo, thank you for the on-screen celebration. Charlie, Florida man, there he is. He's coming up hot.
So write in your class on our little spreadsheet that we got going on here for this game, and you can put in your exploration score and your combat score, because we're going to definitely need those for later. And then in order to kind of create a bit more about your character, there's a couple of questions that the is listed in the character listing in the rulebook. You don't need to answer all these questions. Many of them are sort of suggestions for kind of how you came to your powers or what's your experience of being a mounted or a followed in this world. So I would suggest maybe answering about 2 of them, or if you come up with an idea yourself of like a cool origin or experience that you want to talk about, you can sub out a question for something of your own invention. And what do you guys think about that? Let me choose my character. I think I am going to be... Yeah, I think I'll be the Helmed. I think it seems cool. What's going on, Amanda?
Whoa!
Whoa!
DiCarlo just gifted 10 subs.
Dang.
This is why you're the mad lad, DiCarlo. This is the you know what I mean?
Couldn't have put it better myself.
Yeah, totally.
Holy moly. Welcome on in.
Wow.
Mashley. Hikaru Online. Merit Maverick. SJS55. Lube MS Serio. Bach 979910. Schoolboy Q. Rough 1x1. Nico VDM and Vision 12. That's 10 spins we will have to do, DiCarlo. And I am excited to see what we will get as I just set up the wheel. But I feel like we should finish our thoughts here, and then we'll do some spins for you. So thank you so much. That's so generous of you. We are on our way to a hype train level 3 somehow. So if you feel like subbing, gifting subs, or throwing bits over in the Twitch chat right now, just a friendly reminder that this is a good time for that. The higher we get hyped, the more we get promoted by Twitch. So yes, thank you so much, DiCarlo. So kind of you. If you were in chat and you were gifted a sub, please do say thank you to DiCarlo. Nice! That makes me so happy that Chris got one of the subs in Lucy's chat. That's so great.
That's so nice.
Cool.
DiCarlo, how long are you hanging around for? Do we need to spin your... You just let us know.
Yeah, let us know if you have a
cause...
time that you need to go, and we'll make sure we get those spins in for you, for sure.
Otherwise, we're going to spread the spins out through the rest of the game to spur us on at certain moments. Give us more ideas.
I like it.
All right. Yeah, I will play the Helmed. So I will be wielding the magical ability of the rooks with this sort of like cool stone helm placed on my head. Let's get to answering some questions about where our characters have come from. Kurt, I see you've pulled up those questions. Do you have a thought on a couple you'd like to answer?
Yeah, sure. One of the questions asks me if my village or clan hate the rooks, and did I have to keep my bond with a rookling secret? And the answer is that my village, I didn't tell them. I found the rook and I left, wanting something more, wanting something better. It was a choice between having to explain and justify myself like I've done my whole life, or just make a choice for me for once. And it was such a sweet little rookling. I couldn't not. Technically it was part of the siege, but it couldn't get up the village steps because it's situated on a large sort of ball-bearing-esque wheel that rolls and moves the rest of it. It's stone grinding, and it would just move forward and bump against the bottom step to our town square. Bump. Bump. It seemed so benign and helpless. I had to befriend it, and I had to leave. Maybe either way.
Wow. And that was in the middle of your village being attacked by a rook?
I found the rook early the next morning. after the main rook threat had been dealt with. This little fella with his ball-bearing butt and his bird bath head, beautiful little fountain park-looking thing, I'm sure, at the top of the parapet that surrounds his crown. Comes up to about my navel. But he looks kind of like a bird bath, so I call him Birdie.
So he looks like a bird bath, but he's got like a big, like one ball thing that he rolls on.
Yeah.
Like a little BB-8 situation.
Let me check what that means.
Kurt's a hit and a miss for pop culture references.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Hype train success level 2. Thank you so much for the hype train. Enjoy the emotes. Chris, thank you so much.
And Chris.
Amazing.
Bisous. It's got like more clampy stuff. It's
okay.
There's stone holding it. It's not just a little dome floating on top of a ball.
Right. It's holding a big ball. And
I think the ball is more proportional. I don't know what this BB-8 situation is with this giant ball, tiny dome.
I feel like why the ball so big?
Why the ball so big?
Giant ball, tiny dome.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? What's up with that?
Disney's making mistakes out here. I assume this is Star Wars.
Yeah.
BB-8? Yeah, BB-8 Star Wars.
BB-8 like new R2-D2, you know?
Yeah, BB-8's like the new R2-D2.
R2-D3.
Yeah.
That's right. I thought about that name.
But then they said, is it too similar? And they said, maybe we got to pass on that one.
They weren't brave enough. Not like me.
Not like R2-D2. Brave little droid.
Oh, there you go. I think I watched a movie with him. He was a toaster. Sorry, Anthony, continue.
Are there any of the other questions listed in the followed section that have sparked your imagination?
Well, I can tell you that the bird bath has rumble magic powers, which in this world is one of the 3 types of magic everyone knows. Rumble is one of them. It's a bit like an earthquake. And the first time it was happening, I didn't really realize it. I just saw ripples on the water on the top of the bird bath, the fountain. Yeah. But no, things got a little dicey there for a second. He was protecting me. It's fine.
That's so cool. He was protecting you. Yes, there's only 3 types of magic in this world, or, well, not quite, but there's usually 3 types of magic in this world. Each of the rooks is either an electric, a rumble, or an ice magic-wielding rook, as a little background. That's great. Amanda, have you had a chance to look at your character questions over there?
Yes. Do I come from a village of mounted with buildings and encampments made of mechanical parts of rooks? Being mounted is in your blood? I think that's the question.
Buy it.
That's how it says. Lightning sounds right about now. I hope that.
That's true. In theme.
Yeah, I think, and DiCarlo was saying not leaving, but also that tornado warning might be affecting DiCarlo's internet. Probably.
Right.
So we'll pepper some in kind of once we've created these characters. We can pepper a couple in for you, just so you at least get something in case your internet goes. I have faith. Tornado, stay away.
That'll do it.
Yeah, there you go. I hope that helps. Being mounted, I don't think it is in my blood. I think I kind of like came to it. I think I found some rooks that were no longer in a functioning state.
Okay. Yeah.
And
there's many rook husks out there.
Yeah. And I think I was able to accrue from them just bits, and I started just building. I think it's something that I kind of figured out as I went. I think I've seen other mounted, but I haven't. I don't come from that life, if that makes sense.
Right.
So it's just something that I aspired to. I think.
Is it a natural talent then? Because the ability to tinker and understand the mechanics of a rook is it's pretty complicated. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
you
think
just pick it up fast.
I think maybe, yeah, it's something like maybe there's something else that my character did before where the circuitry is similar to perhaps I used to be like a weaver, and there are some similarities in the way that I find circuitry flows.
Ooh, that's sick.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And so I don't really understand everything, but then at the same time, because there's going to be moments where I think my character is not going to be like the strongest, the most well-known, the most advanced mounted, but at the same time, I think they will be a character that sometimes can think outside of the box and maybe think of solutions that other mounted might not see because of that.
Yeah, I like that. Almost like an intuitive understanding of how these things work. Just you come at it from a different angle. That's cool.
Yeah.
One thing that you should decide is what your mount looks like.
Yeah.
What kind of vehicle you've put together. You really let yourself dream big. This can
With my mount?
look like anything. Yeah.
I think it looks like a giant apple, and it rolls forward, and I have to kind of like when people roll on logs.
Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of
Wow,
a
we have real
BB-8
rolling
vibe,
theme.
actually.
Yes, new
Yeah,
BB-8 vibe.
BB-8 vibe. It's kind of just rolling along, and then I kind of have to like walk on the top, like that.
There's
And
no,
sometimes
like,
I'll.
mechanics that like
Yes,
center it.
sometimes I hang off the side, but I can only do that for so long. Like, you might see me sometimes
Okay.
leaping from one side to just hang so I don't have to roll. And then
Yeah.
leaping to the, like, walking across the top and leap to the other side like this. But I can only stay like this for so long because the balance isn't quite right. So I can stay like that for, like, maybe 15 minutes max, and then it's going to start to tilt. And then it just becomes like, if I stay that way for too long, my feet will touch the ground and it'll stop rolling, and
And
it's
you
a
get
whole,
tired.
yeah, it's a whole thing. It's not the best build, but it is mighty because it's like this giant apple, red apple like mount that I think it has like designs on it, and I think it has a little hat on top of it that I have woven for it. Little
A little hat.
accessory. Little hat.
Oh, does
Love
the
a little
hat
hat.
stay centered on top of it somehow?
Well, the hat is what I use to try to make sure that it's that it's in line. So the hat does kind of roll down.
Okay.
Does it roll down or does it like slide underneath the hat? No, I think it does. I think it does roll down. So it's very dusty looking. But
Okay,
it was
so it's
once
a beat-up
very
hat.
colorful.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I replace it. It depends. If it gets worn down, I make a new one. But the
It'd be
hat is
cute
what
if
I
you were
use to make sure
constantly
it's centered it. Yeah, constantly just up there.
Crocheting
like,
new ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weaving new ones. That's cool.
Oh,
Does
gosh.
this mount have any special abilities or powers? Like, is there a particular reason why you've chosen this mount?
A
to be
top
your-
hat or a derby hat is what Duncan is asking. Also, I didn't realize why you guys were laughing. Then I was like, oh yeah, because I said being mounted. That's literally what it says in the book.
Yeah, you just
quoted.
said being mounted is in my blood.
That's literally what it says in the book. It says, do you come from a village of mounted with buildings and encampments made of mechanical parts of rooks? Being mounted is in your blood? Question mark.
Yes.
Look.
And then, and then later
I
you
don't
said
know.
you came to it. So
We
What?
died.
Oh, I came to.
We simply died.
I didn't say that. I came to being mounted.
you,
It wasn't-
you did just say that.
It wasn't intrinsic. It's not in my blood. It's more of a thing that you can find in life.
Nice.
Mounted. But yeah, so that makes sense. I understand now. Zatanna's hat. Yeah, I think it's kind of like, I'm imagining it like a little elf hat is what I'm imagining in my head. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, a
like
cute
Robin
little elf
Hood,
hat.
like Robin Hood hat.
Sick.
Yeah. So I guess actually it'd be more like Green Arrow's hat than Zatanna's hat, but do with that what you will. Maybe I wear Zatanna's hat while I'm running around. That's what my hat looks like. I got a
What
little
does a tennis hat
little
look
top
like?
hat. It's a top hat. She wears a
Oh,
top
a top hat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Was there any other question that you wanted to
Yeah, the leaf shape
answer?
hat. Yeah. I kind of answered what it looks like.
That's what it looks like. And
I think the
sort of backstory
weapon
on how
that
you
it
got
is the mount itself is the weapon because it's like you
Sort
can
of
just
ramming?
roll over things. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you want to give it one other special ability just so you have something fun to play with?
One other special thing that it has.
Yeah, I just think it might be fun for you to have something in your back pocket that your giant rolling boulder
I
can
think
do.
it can also travel on water.
Cool. Sweet.
I think
That's it.
I have a sail that is equipped with it, and it just becomes this like bobbing
Apples
sort of
float.
Yeah, and so you can attach a sail to it and sail on the ocean as long as you got wind.
As long as you get wind.
As
That's
long
sick.
as you get some wind.
That's very cool.
And it tilts, but you know, you'll be fine. Kind of like a
You'll be
sailboat.
fine.
It's got some intense tilting action.
Awesome. Awesome.
I don't think tilting action is anything wrong, but y'all can let me know if that sounds.
Now you're policing all of your phrases.
I know I'm
for
thinking about
sexual innuendo.
everything I say. I mean, not really. I'm not very good at policing anything for sexual innuendo. I just say things, and then people tell me about all the innuendos after, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I guess. I wasn't thinking of it that way. I'm a master of accidental sexual innuendo. Something that happened early on, actually, on Nerd, I feel like, during my time there. I noticed in comments when people would say, you said this, and I would say, oh, I never thought about that. To the point that I would write things, and then while I was saying my scripts, right, I'd be reading it on the teleprompter, what I wrote, and I would say, and then I'd be like, wait a minute.
Right.
Nope, I need to rework that. So unless I can see the words, I feel like it's really hard for me to edit in that way. Anyways. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Okay. Now it's my turn. I am playing the Helmed, and I promise there will be almost zero sexual innuendo in my section right here. I've got a good couple questions to answer. The first one I like. The first one is: has your character always had an understanding of rooks since they were young? And if so, how did they first discover that? So here's what I'm imagining. I'm imagining that I'm sort of like I'm a relatively like fussy and disturbed child. I've got like a little like tousle of like constantly knotted blonde hair, no matter what my mother tries to do about it. And I'm like always complaining. I can't concentrate on my lessons. I never learn anything. And I never sleep. Even when I was a baby, I would just cry through the whole night, and the other people in town called me a little demon baby because I was just like, I made life hell for my parents. When I got old enough to talk, I revealed that I just like was always having bad dreams, and my bad dreams would take the form of me hurting people, crushing people, destroying towns and settlements, and just constant scenes of brutality. My parents tried everything to try to like help me with it. And one night that I couldn't sleep, I would often wander around in the streets outside my home when I couldn't sleep. And one night I disappear. And in the morning, my parents can't find me. And it's a whole week they can't find me. And then a massive rook shows up on the horizon of the town. And the alarms go off, and people go into battle mode. And the rook like approaches the walls of the village, and then it just stops. And someone from the wall screams, "There's a kid inside!" And seated in the front windows of one of the colossuses, one of the rook's like massive halls. I'm just sitting there cross-legged, staring out through the stained glass windows in the front of the rook, staring into the village, having wandered off to find this rook. And I think this rook is like this is what I've been dreaming about, is the experiences of this particular rook, and the dreams were able to lead me to find it. As was common, the village destroyed the rook, thinking that it had, captured me or something like that, and blasted it to smithereens. And I take the rook stone, the stone that powers this massive thing, and it sort of has this form of sort of like a crystalline, sort of like spiky helm that goes over my head that kind of covers my eyes and sort of like makes the front of my head look like a porcupine.
Ooh.
And I placed that on my head, and I'm able to reconnect with the memories, this bond I have with this massive creature that once stalked these lands. So I think that's where it comes from. That's the beginning. And I'm not always good at it. It takes me a long time to like get good at using the rook's powers. I'm thinking sounds like an ice rook to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we'll go with ice sort of powers.
Are the like, so you look like you're wearing like a porcupine kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is it like icy? Like
it's like quartz. It's like
Ooh.
crystals of quartz that kind of like.
Is it cold? Like if I touch it?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Yeah, it is cold.
Ooh,
it is cold.
That's really cool.
Occasionally you can like see the ends of my hair like freeze up as if it was like winter outside, as the like sweat freezes in them. There's like one more thing I wanted to flesh out here. Yeah, I think one thing you should know is that the helmed are like very like sought after in this world, because being able to like manipulate the magic of the rooks is very valuable for making all sorts of for products and machines. You think about, an ice helmed can really help you with refrigeration, designing ways to harness the powers of the ice. So they're often like sought after, in big cities to make stuff. And so my parents are ecstatic that I have this ability, but I refuse to make any good use of it. And having known one rook, I think I want to meet more of them. I know that my rook was actually quite sweet in some ways, misunderstood, a much more complicated presence than the monster they're made out to be. And I think I want to find more rooks like that, to understand them better. Yeah, that's what I got so far.
Sick.
I like it. Sounds really cool. Our characters are all really cool. You guys notice that?
They're super cool.
I'm not super cool to spend time with, to be honest. I'm a little grumpy. I'm a little cantankerous. Yeah. Quick to anger, impatient. And that is perhaps the justification that you can be cool. That can be cool. Maybe.
That can be cool to be grumpy. Some people make it a whole thing, and then people are like, man, that's so cool. That person's so grumpy.
Do we need to spin a wheel right now, or are you just getting it ready, Amanda?
I'm just getting it ready for whenever we're ready. So I just have it here.
All right. Next thing we're going to do here, we just want a couple things to kind of help flesh out our characters, who they are, before we go forward. So we're going to choose a calling, which is kind of like your reason for adventuring, and a nature, which is kind of like how you are, what your personality is like. And so you could find those just up on page 15?
And 14.
And 14 and 15. So there's a way we can randomly draw them, if you would like, Amanda, or you can kind of do a quick read through on some of the options they give and either choose one or come up with one of your own. If you can find them there. Why don't you take a look? Kurt's been hard at work in the background and has chosen a calling and a nature. So while we are thinking, Kurt, do you want to share what you've got?
I'm happy to. So morning after I left my village, with the rook, my little stowaway, the reason that I've left to protect them, I camped out on the plains, and I woke up to find a letter. No sign of where it came from. It spoke of a place far across the lands, in a room that looks nothing like the room my village resides in. A grove high up on a mesa, high up near a soft brazier, I guess.
A brazier?
In my vision, I saw a warmly lit room in the center of the grove, waiting, calling for me. There are people there, people and rooks, together in peace, caring for their young of both their ilks, just living life. Maybe there's a safe place there where my rook and I can live together without prejudice.
Also, thank you, Rock Nerd Radio, for following, and Greg Harbrecht for subscribing over on YouTube.
Thanks, both of you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. All that's very sweet.
I love that, Kurt.
But
really
It's very cool.
It's also, perhaps, I try not to think about the cognitive dissonance of the rooks I'm willing to, and people I'm willing to put aside to reach this place. Those who would stand in the way of this imagined peace.
You're willing to kind of do anything in order to find this place.
It was promised. I read the letter.
And you don't know of who the letter's from?
No, but it can't be anything less than the truth. Or why would it have come at such a perfect time?
Awesome. That's super cool. I think that's a really good background. Do you also have a nature chosen for your character?
Oh yeah, I'm grumpy. I'm quick to anger. I'm impatient. Those are the things that I am.
Is that how are you with your rookling? Are you also like that, or do you have an infinite amount of patience?
Oh no, I'm like somebody's dad who says that they don't want a dog, and then when they have the dog, all they can do is dote on the dog.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was imagining. You're like a big softie when it comes to your little rookling.
Yeah, Birdie. Gotta be sweet with Birdie. Birdie's so sweet with everyone.
Okay, my idea for my calling is that I like the dream thing, so I've already found the rook that I dreamed about as a child, and now I think new dreams begin. Maybe they're just like a year before our little adventure takes place, of a new rook, and I want to choose. Okay, so there's rook stones in the world that power these rooks. There's rumble ones, there's ice ones, there's lightning ones. But there are also other fabled rook stones that only exist uniquely, one of a kind, that bear different magic. I want to choose a cool one that might be powering the rook that I'm dreaming of. But I haven't thought of anything yet.
I'm dreaming of.
Does anybody have any
Unofficial
ideas?
sing mode. For what might be powering, or like what you need to find.
Yeah, or like a type of magic that might be powering this rook who is now sort of haunting my dreams.
Right. I kind of want to say, like, I know it doesn't exist though.
Well, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for brand new ones.
I'm thinking like fire to kind of like cut the ice, That could be interesting.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Given that my current powers are ice.
Opposite element. One. Yeah.
DeCarlo's on the same page as you, also saying fire.
Fire. That's straight fire. Also, I don't know if you guys saw, Christopher was saying in the YouTube chat that if Anthony and Kurt were to join me in a Pathfinder or D&D game, that they would watch the entire series. And I said, I would be so down for that. I said, I think it might be hard to convince Kurt, but I think Anthony would be down.
There's like a 7% chance that you could convince me to do a Pathfinder campaign. Actually, 0% for D&D. It's over.
0%?
0%. It's over.
It's
Wow.
over. It's over. But maybe Pathfinder. There you go. There's a percentage. I've
There's
actually never played Pathfinder.
It's possible. It's possible.
So I'd be kind of curious to try that at some point. But yeah, I appreciate that, Christopher. That's so kind of you to say. Glad to know that we have the support there.
Okay, I like fire just because there was a correspondence where everyone's brains lined up. So I think I have been having disturbing dreams of flames ripping through rook husks and forests and tearing across the landscape. And I know a new rook is calling to me. And my calling is to chase this rook. I want to meet them. This one, I don't know if it has a good soul. It looks like it is angry, destructive. But
Ooh.
I'm convinced that maybe I can change that.
It's like a Sith rook. Sorry, my brain is like pulling everything into Star Wars right now.
Oh, Star Wars brain.
Star Wars on the brain. Christopher said, "You guys made me laugh so hard. Thank you." You're welcome, Christopher. Pyrokinesis. It's an evil pyro rook.
Pyro rook.
Honestly, it sounds really cool. Cool.
Do you have any ideas on calling for your character?
I do. We can pick, right? Pull or
Yeah,
pick?
you can pick one of those.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have one. I would like my calling to be, it flew overhead, casting a shadow black as night in the middle of the day. The dragon rook. The only rook known to fly. You hear whispers and rumors of a party heading out to hunt it. They say, if you can defeat it, you will gain the ability to fly. You can't let them get to it first.
That's cool.
Yeah. I just want to
very
fly.
cool.
I feel like I made my mount so that it can
Oh, yeah.
go across the land. It can also go in water.
Water.
So I'm like, if I could fly with it, that would be really...
The last thing left.
That'd be the last
Boom, boom,
thing
boom.
left. I don't know
Nice.
why I want to do all of those things, but TBD, I guess. Guess as we get to know the character, maybe we'll find that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get the drive, though. I like it. And I can see that
Kind of
person
fits.
who just wants to make stuff.
Be able to, yeah, to
push the
fiddle with
boundaries.
everything and, like, go everywhere and, like, do it all, yeah. You haven't been watching enough House of the Dragon. I have. That's why I want to fly. Or you mean like I shouldn't want to fly, DiCarlo, because dragons are dangerous? Look, my mount won't be like that. Probably. Possibly. Hydrate and posture check. Thank you. Did you already say what your nature was, Anthony?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna draw for this because I've got like this character's got a very kind of like creepy, ethereal thing going on, but I think I want to temper that with something else. So I'm just gonna draw something to fuel my imagination. We've got a little digital deck of cards over here on our side, folks. That we're drawing cards from, and we will be drawing cards for the rest of this game. I have drawn a 6 of hearts, which a 6 means brave, by the book. Serious, no sense of humor. All right. I like that. I like the sense of like a dreamy, disturbed kid turned into now with a purpose in life, turned into a very serious and like determined person who is off to do some good, to find this rook, to get things done. So that's my nature.
I think I'm going to have my nature be salt of the earth, common folk, finds it easy to talk with anyone. I was thinking of being sly, strategic, and always planning. But I feel like we need someone that's a little bit more personable, maybe. Just so that we're not all, like, off being, I don't know, doing whatever it is we do, like, by ourselves, kind of. So
That's fair.
Also, I think
Someone
it
needs to
fits with
stick
the
us
fact that
together.
I'm like a weaver. Like I feel like maybe my character was very just a person, and then they kind of stumbled into a bigger role, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I need to go get an ice pack.
Nice. You go do that.
Is that okay? I'll be right back. It's like 2 steps. Also, then we spin the wheel, maybe?
We spin the wheel for sure.
Okay.
Let's spin the wheel.
Also, I can hear you, so.
So keep talking.
Don't
Keep
mess
talking.
around. All right.
So keep
our
talking. I mean, mess around all you want.
Well, our next quest over here is to choose our look. Yeah, I think that's our next quest. And I think Kurt has already chosen a look. So
Wow,
maybe...
looks not even in character generation.
Oh no.
But I have it. Yeah.
You do.
I wear a tunic with a small bandolier of rocks in various sizes. Just little trinkets that I pick up that I think might fit in well with Birdie's existing body. If something were to break off or anything, just in case I need them, okay? They're just nice little rocks. And my hair is worn in a long, loose braid. I think... I don't know what gender my character is. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know if the character knows, but
Yeah,
it doesn't matter to me.
What kind of pronouns do you want us to use?
Let's go with some they them energy on this one. Why not?
Sick.
Why not?
Do you have a name in mind? I also didn't put that in the character generation.
You put it on the sheet.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
Well, I put the look on the sheet too.
Yeah. I just didn't see a look in the
So-
book. A book look.
Oh, yeah.
Rapala has redeemed an interesting dialect, Letterkenny.
I don't
Oh, no.
know what that means, actually.
You don't know
that we're
Letterkenny?
Canadian, but
I don't know if I could do a Letterkenny dialect. I mean, is there a dialect?
I mean, yeah, there is. It's like rural Canada,
Rural Canada.
basically.
What does that sound like, though? Like, how do we boil it down? I feel like everyone has so many different sounds on that show. Well, I was walking around the farm the other day. I feel like I have to
Sound like a detective.
Well, I was investigating the farm, you see? Trying to find out what's going on in the farm.
I wouldn't even say it's redneck. It's like some other thing. I guess it's like maybe Canadian redneck if you wanted to put it there.
You're thinking like a stereotypical Canadian accent?
I did
Sort
hear.
of too far into it, you know? Is that
No,
kinda what we're
it's not.
thinking?
It's weird,
It's
it's
not.
actually not
It's
that.
not that. That's the thing. That's what's confusing about it. It's like
Not familiar with the source material. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, we might have to refund that one. I don't know. I'll work on it for next time.
Give us a different
Rapala.
dialect. Give us a different dialect.
Yeah, I'll work on it for next time though, Rapala. Next time you want to redeem Letterkenny, I'll put some elbow grease into that one. I've watched a lot of Letterkenny, but I don't know if I could do the voices. I haven't really practiced enough. That's a great redemption. I did actually hear people on the GO train the other day that did sound like Letterkenny though. I was like, where are these people from? Like, they sounded like the people in Letterkenny, but that was just
That's
how
so
they were
fun.
talking. And I was like, and they were going down to the X. That's what I remember. And they got
Nice.
off there and they were talking about like all the things they're going to be doing and like, oh, last time when we were drinking whiskey and then we had that moonshine. And I was like, who are these people? Where'd they come from? But maybe they came from rural Ontario. Maybe they came from Letterkenny. It's a real place. Anyways, I sounded like a detective.
We're doing
did.
looks, by the way, Amanda.
Right.
We want to know what your character looks like. Also,
Is there a prompts for that? Is that on a
no
certain page?
prompts?
Ah,
Use
just
your
make it up.
imagination.
Yeah.
I think I'm lanky.
Okay, that's a good place to
I have
start.
long limbs,
Yeah.
and I think I'm lanky and I'm skinny,
Okay.
and I have a long braid.
Ooh, Ooh, that's
Yeah.
2 long braids. Or, well, a loose braid and a long braid.
A loose braid and a long braid. Yeah, I have like a really long braid that goes down to like my butt.
Uh-huh.
And I think I wear a green bandana underneath my top hat. And sometimes
I forgot about the top hat.
I do have a top hat. And
Forgot about
sometimes
the
I
top hat.
collapse my top hat down and I
Uh-huh.
use it like a frisbee.
Wow, that's a cool attack that we will get to see once we get into a fight.
And what else about my character? I think my character bites their nails.
Okay.
And
Are your nails always like very short and your fingers red?
they're just very like, you know when people have short nails and then like their nail bed is like over where their nail is, like it's puffy? Like
Yeah.
that. Like
Okay.
that. And my nails are jagged because I bite them.
Okay.
And I think I
I can imagine that
tanned?
catching on your weaving all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I'm tanned.
Tan.
Have like kind of an olive-y skin color. My hair is... I think my hair is like a faded blue.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I don't know if I have a name yet. But I think this character is she, her in terms of
She, her.
pronouns.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, over here, I know for sure I wear this quartz helmet with these like long crystals that stick out of it. And you almost never see the upper half of my face. This is always like behind this quartz helmet. You can kind of see through it because it's like semi-transparent, so that you can kind of see like a obscured version of my face. And it does like magnify, so I often have this kind of weird, super giant eyeball look that kind of like shifts depending on the angle. Was kind of unnerving. I think despite the cold powers, I'm not actually very well suited to surviving the cold. So I'm bundled up tight. I wear like a big like turtleneck knit sweater that my mom made me in like a burgundy with kind of like a cable knit going on. And I wear over it like a brown leather jacket that's been repaired in many places. I have sort of like tough sort of like laborer's pants on and big like leather knee pads that sort of like are quite like large and boxy that I'm always wearing. My hair sort of like falls in like little ringlets down the side of my face, sort of peeks out from underneath the helmet, and is constantly like frozen into shape where it lies. Yeah, and maybe like fingerless gloves that I'm always wearing as well.
Yeah.
I have some fingerless gloves.
Yeah.
I also want some they them pronouns.
Cool.
And I think my name is Carmel.
Ooh, I like that name. Caramel. Also, yes, I'm sorry. I saw that you changed it to Transylvanian. I refunded your points, but if you would like to redeem it again, Transylvanian, I think we could attempt, at least. I don't know what level it'll be at, but...
Yes,
blah, blah.
we can definitely try a Transylvanian accent.
We're just all going to sound like Dracula? Is that what's about to happen? It's just
I
Romanian.
hope that's what you meant by Transylvanian. I don't know if there's a real place with a Transylvanian accent that I am offending.
Oh my goodness.
There is a real place called Transylvania, but it's now no longer a country, it is a region.
It's a region of Romania. Is it? No?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. So there
Nailed
you
it.
go. Yeah, DiCarlo says, it's just Romanian. I have redeemed. Well then, Transylvanian it will be.
Is it okay if I do a Dracula accent the whole time? I'm a very specific Transylvanian.
That is the only Transylvanian accent that I know how to do.
but Kurt Transylvanian seems kind of like a normal guy you might meet in Transylvania.
I know many people from Transylvania. Is a lie. I tell you now.
I was about to say, do you actually know many people from Transylvania?
All right, guys, we are doing so well. Sorry, I was writing a couple things down.
What were you writing down, Anthony?
Oh, sorry, I forgot my accent for a second. I was writing down all the things that you and I said into the spreadsheet, so I have it all down for later.
Were you writing down how much I would like to drink your blood?
No, that would be weird.
Doesn't really fit the theme of the game.
But if we are in a castle, could we not all technically be Dracula?
That is a good point.
Very true. All right, we have 2 final things to do. We are going to choose a weapon. But in this game, unlike others, you can choose any weapon you want. It's just for fun, so that you have something cool to hit people with later. And mostly rooks. Not really people, only occasionally.
I would like a whip. I also
A
would
whip?
like to say thank you to Mage Beldan for streaking on through a 3-stream streak. Now I'm just becoming the count.
The count, you're for sure the count.
1 streak. 2 streak.
2 streak. 3 streak.
Kerr, what weapon you choosing?
I'm glad that Amanda said a whip because I wasn't sure I wanted to pronounce the weapon that I was originally thinking of, which is just a sword whip. I've got a slingshot.
Slingshot's cool. Do either of you want to make
my
your
whip
weapon?
is also feeling matching the themes that I've put out today.
Yeah,
Unintentionally.
that's fair. That's true.
I was thinking of it though
Being
because
mounted with my whip.
Were you born into the whip, or did it just? Never mind. Never mind.
Oh my goodness.
Nowhere to fold them.
Mikey, thank you so much for following on Twitch. I don't know if you're in the chat right now, and this was the reason that you followed, but if it was,
It all makes sense.
it all makes sense to me. Yep. Also, happy Tremorank. Thank you for subscribing on YouTube, and Louis Lucifer.
I do feel like the vibe of Colossal is like you definitely can like up the weirdness level slightly if you want to. There's such like fantastical things in this world. So just a thought, an invitation: if your whip or your slingshot has something funky about it, something strange, perhaps colossal rook magic infused, you could add that.
Well, we already know I've got the bandolier that I keep rocks in.
Yeah.
Those are also for the slingshot.
Okay.
They're not just imagining repairs. But the thing about this slingshot is that if I shoot it at just the right angle into the wind, they do come back. So it is a boomer shot.
It's a boomer shot.
It's a boomer shot, yeah.
Nice.
I don't want to give these little rocks away. I've been collecting them.
You've been collecting all your little rocks. They're precious to you.
It's a boomer shot.
Do you like collect your rocks afterwards if anything goes wrong?
I try to. If anything goes wrong is the worst scenario because we're talking that then I'm dealing with stuff and picking up rocks.
Bigger troubles.
My whip, it's woven, so I wove my whip, and I often will change the length of it by unweaving parts of it and adding to it at times.
Cool.
Just for funsies.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've got a hammer, I think. Like a big over-the-shoulder hammer.
Like Mjolnir?
Longer rod on it. I'm actually kind of imagining
like
almost,
a barbarian hammer?
Sort of, yeah.
The
Like kind of like the
two-hand?
hammer from Super Smash Bros. The
Oh!
giant head on it. I'm imagining something quite big and oversized that I'm
Like
lugging
King
around with me.
Dedede?
Yeah, kind of that vibe, yeah.
King Dedede? Okay.
And my classic move is that because I've got ice powers, I'll like freeze something or somebody and then just smash it to pieces with my big old hammer.
Whoa!
Yeah, and I think the hammer's got like a bit of like a sonic boom thing. It's like propelled
Whoa.
by a slight bit of like rumble magic that got left over from the rook it was built from. So as it like swings forward, it gets like extra propelled by a little like explosion of rumble energy that smashes it even harder into the thing that I'm hitting.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Oh, I forgot how to use a spreadsheet, guys. Okay,
Chris is
I'll figure it out again.
asking if you mean a mallet.
Is that the technical term for a big ol' hammer?
Well, I don't know, because Harley has a pretty big hammer, but hers is we call it a hammer. I think it just depends. What's the difference between a mallet and a hammer? I always thought of a mallet as a smaller hammer, honestly.
Mallet's
Mallet
like
versus hammer.
in real life, a mallet is like sort of like wider and has a bigger head and is used for like hitting things a larger surface area. Where
Mallets
a hammer is
have
usually a bit
one
smaller.
head and are commonly made of wood or rubber.
Hammers have two heads.
Hammers, I think, usually have two heads, both sides. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, because even when you think about, like, you have the side that you hit something with, but then there's another head on the back.
is that what that means?
I don't know. That's what the internet says. That's what
All right.
Google's telling me. This is from, though, ourdog.com, so I don't know how reliable.
That sounds like an official source to me.
And it's spelled
for-
dog, like DAWG.
Wow, it gets worse.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorcery. Loving this rendition of Birdie, I gotta say. If you want to see fan art happening in real time
On the Discord?
on that Discord, baby,
Oh,
Hop
man,
in the
I gotta
server.
check it out.
Guys.
check out a beautiful rendition of Birdie from Atomic Sorcery.
Which one is it? Stream Team TTRPG?
Stream Team TTRPG.
Ooh, it's so cute. I love it.
So cool.
Go check out that Discord, guys. All right, we have one final task for character creation. We've done all the official things in the book. Now we're in Anthony freestyle zone.
These are very cool, too.
Because we're playing a party of people instead of normally, we would just have one adventurer off an adventure by themselves. I want to know how these people know each other and why they are on this exploration together. Does anybody have any ideas that jump out about how they might know an individual here, or maybe how we all got together? The one thing I did think is that we do all sound like we're like little weirdos that don't belong where we came from, which is a great way of starting any adventuring
I
party.
feel like it's pretty par for the course for us in most games, honestly. These are our
True.
favorite kinds of characters to play. Little weirdos that don't sound like they belong nowhere. Oh, I think my name is Spoolie.
Spoolie.
Yeah.
Spoolie. Wait, Kurt, what's your character's name?
Flats.
Flats. Spoolie, Flats, and Carmel. That's a good set of names. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's a strong pitch that really brings people together. Okay.
Okay. All right.
What
we
if
met in a tavern.
Wow. So that was what I was thinking, and it's an original idea I've never heard of before.
I've never heard of it before.
Never heard of that. No, first time ever.
Okay. Well, okay, it's not fully thought out, but I was thinking, I kind of like, well, we're all searching for rooks, kind of,
Yeah.
in some form or other. Flats is searching for like a rook place, a place with rooks.
Yeah.
But both of us are searching for rooks. I was thinking something like, what if like one of my dreams, like most of my dreams are nightmares about horrible things happening. What if like one of my dreams is in this like perfect, serene oasis, where there are like people and rooklings and rooks, and I like hold on to that idea, and then I'm not sure how, but maybe we find out, Flats and Carmel, that we've seen this, or we've heard of this same place. I don't know how it would happen, but that might unite our quests slightly. And then I don't know, Spoolie whether I mean we might need transport or something. Could be an idea to get there, or
maybe we had to go
Dragon
across.
Rook is connected somehow.
Maybe we had to go across water, and I was one of the people that you knew that had like a mount that can cross like water and land. We got to go a far distance, you know?
Makes sense to me.
And then maybe while we're on this journey, Spoolie's been tracking the Dragon Rook and is like, we could also get some air power. I think that's what Spoolie's thinking.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Also, I like that DiCarlo is clarifying the hammer mallet situation. A hammer typically has a smaller, harder head, usually metallic, and is used to drive nails, sharp work pieces, and break objects. A mallet tends to have a rounder, softer head, usually rubber or wood, that will not mar the workpiece surface. Hammers often have one side of the tool designed for prying or clawing nails, whereas mallets have a flat surface. Hammers are better suited for tasks such as pounding nails into tough objects, while mallets have a larger surface area. But then we call Harley's hammer a hammer, so should we be calling it a mallet? Have we been calling it the wrong thing this whole time?
True. Good point.
Maybe.
Very good point.
Maybe. This made me question everything that I thought I knew about hammers and mallets.
Which was a long list. Like, this is only 30% of the stuff that Amanda knows about hammers and mallets. But now we're not sure that any of it's true.
Wow.
I don't know if we can do a Klingon dialect without speaking Klingon. I don't know. Is that...
DiCarlo, do you hate us? What's going on?
I think DiCarlo's just pulling our leg. Our collective one leg we all share. It's very hard to get places.
I feel like if I were a Klingon, I'd just sound angry.
Yeah.
Like,
that seems true.
I'm like this. I'm a Klingon. That's what I would think. But I think some Klingons might find that offensive, so I probably shouldn't do that. Sorry to all the Klingons out there.
That's like most of our audience too. So
I know.
You really shouldn't. Like, obviously, it's bad. It's bad to be discriminatory in any context, but man, like, really screwing up your own situation here if you're going to step on Klingons.
Dang it. Sorry.
I think when you reach the end of your journey across the sea that you two made together because you knew each other and needed to go that way. Okay. I'm on the shore because I got a letter telling me that someone shared my vision of this place.
So you were told to go meet us here.
Another letter, yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so here's how it goes down. Me and Spoolie live in maybe a shoreside settlement or maybe a collection of them.
Yeah,
we meet up there. I've been asking around about where to find this this sort of oasis, and there are stories of it beyond the sea. What do we call this sea? Where in the
what do we call the sea?
That's Klingon, right?
Yeah, pretty close. It's a pirate Klingon, of which there have been many pirates that were also Klingons. Check your history.
Check your history.
I know nothing about Klingon history. Well, I know a few things about Klingon history, I should specify.
But now you're questioning everything. It's like hammers and mallets.
Hammers and mallets. Klingons and pirates. Yeah.
I don't know. I was trying to think of a cool room that might host a sea.
Right.
The first thing I thought was a living
harbor?
room sea, which sucks.
What if it's just called the Rim Sea because it borders three sides of this room and then you have to cross it to enter the next one.
The next room.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. So we need to cross the Rim Sea. I basically contract you please help me get across the other side. As we're headed out, maybe in the middle of our journey, or maybe near the end, we see the Dragon Rook, drifting across the sky one night, and it's heading in the same direction we are. And so when we get to shore, we run into this stranger who is also headed in the same direction and is literally waiting for us, who we've never met before. And now Spoolie maybe wants to go with us even deeper into the next room. Because
the Dragon
Rook is out there somewhere.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Okay, sweet.
I'm gonna spin
We-
this wheel
I've got a story.
for a prompt. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll give you a quick rundown on how exploration works, and then we'll get started.
Amanda's choice.
Oh wow! What kind of things we got on that wheel right there?
I think, well, let me tell you about that. So we have choose light colors, name an NPC, rook sighting, choose a part of the castle, something awful, something lovely, change of weather, flashback. I think I want a change of weather.
Are we gonna put that into our first exploration phase, or do we want to work that somehow into our little backstory here?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe we could work it into the backstory. It might be interesting.
Maybe just to set things up
Yeah.
as we arrive. I think this feels like it's in the air tonight. Maybe a storm strikes as we near the shore on the other side of the rim.
Yeah.
And we
Maybe
actually
we have to like
wash
race
ashore.
the storm to try to like get out of it. So when we come up onto the shore, it's like we're exhausted, we're tired, and we like just made it as we wash up. And like maybe did we fall off the mount?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And like the mount washes up somewhere else. And what if Flats has like dinner ready for us because the letter was very complete about what was about to happen, and so like there's like warm food and blankets just like ready for us as we wash up on shore, wet and ragged. Is that something that Flats would do?
I think so, but not in a way that feels welcoming. More in like a gonna get yourself killed out there kind of thing.
You trying to shame us with comfort? Is that what you're saying?
It feels like being shamed, but also
I kind of love that. I love the idea of comforting things, but you're kind of like, oh, like, ooh, maybe I...
put your jacket on.
Yeah, exactly. Mom energy.
Mom energy, yeah.
You guys want to learn how to play Colossal?
Yeah.
All right, here you go. It's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. Each of us has an exploration score and a combat score that goes along with our class that we have got. Kurt, what are your exploration and combat scores?
5 and 3.
5 and 3, 5 exploration, 3 combat.
That seems fake. Why do you guys have worse total scores?
I think that is just the way it is. Let me double check that that's true.
I think, maybe
I
I'm
think
just
that is
better
the way
than
it
you
is.
guys.
Yeah, I think you're just better.
We've always known that, Kurt.
You've always known this.
Honestly,
it has to come out
it sounds accurate. Like, what do I have? I have a whip that's made of some woven cloth and a top hat that I can turn into a frisbee. Although I do have a mount that becomes it's like a ram? A ram? So we call that? A boulder. It's like a boulder, but how do you steer that, you know? Like, that might be hard.
Tricky.
Yeah, sounds tricky. So sounds correct.
I've
DiCarlo,
confirmed
welcome back.
I do just have better stats. It's a solo
Does your
game. It
internet
doesn't
go?
need to be balanced. You're choosing your own adventure.
Yeah.
One of the things they say as well is that the mounted the mounted has the ability to improve their combat score as they go along by decking out their mount with cooler and cooler weapons.
Internet is lagging.
So
oh no.
It'll come. Uh-oh.
Is it me
Ours,
or you?
I would assume DiCarlo.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a whole concern earlier
Yeah.
vis-a-vis weather conditions?
Yeah, my internet seems to be doing okay in terms of what Streamlabs is telling me, but oh no. Oh no. Okay, well we spun one.
No.
We got one.
Okay. So we all have exploration scores. We all have combat scores. The exploration score is going to impact how much of the world you can discover and see in every one of our exploration phases. So the game is going to unroll. We're going to have a new exploration phase, and we're going to find out something about the world, create a setting, have a little scene play out in it, and then we'll do that again, and we'll do that again until we reach the conclusion of our story. Every time we enter a new exploration, we're going to choose one of us to be the leader for this part of the exploration. And it's best if that sort of narratively makes sense. Somebody who's familiar with the area, somebody who maybe is like the most experienced or who has the most to gain, who's sort of driving us forward in this part of the story. They are going to draw cards from the deck of 52 cards equal to their exploration score. So the more your exploration score, the better explorer you are. Each of these cards, we're going to take a look at our cool little exploration table that you can find at the top of the rules reference sheet, guys, if you have it open. And it's going to tell us what prompt, what feature of the setting it indicates. So some examples are there might be cultists that we run into, a massive door or a staircase, a sea, gargoyles that are coming down to attack us. We'll draw, well, in our case, we might draw 2, 3, 5 of these cards, and the leader is going to put those cards together, kind of bring all those elements together into a setting that kind of combines these elements. And it's best if you can find a way to sort of like make them all make sense with each other, right? So if you have a cultist and a cave and gargoyles, maybe you have gargoyle worshipping cultists that live in a cave, or bring offerings to this gargoyle that lives in a cave or something like that. Try to tie these things together as a new setting for the place that we have found.
Amanda, there is another official rules reference I have learned, and that is what Anthony is referring to.
Yes, sorry. So there's a rules reference PDF. That's an official rules reference. And then there's my little rules summary.
Yes.
It's confusing. I gave you a lot of different rules.
We're talking about your rules summary, right?
No, I'm talking the rules reference. All the tables are in the rules reference.
Yeah. Oh, the rules reference.
I just found it, as Anthony was saying, and as you can see on the rules reference.
Is that
don't know what you're looking at,
exploration prompts?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
okay. I have that open. Yeah.
And in the rule book, there's also sort of more elaboration on like what animal to hunt means or massive skeleton means, these various prompts. If you want some more background or some more ideas about it, you can check in the base rules as well.
Got it. So we draw a card and then it tells us like what we find when we're exploring.
That's right. So we'll draw as many cards as the leader's exploration number, and then those elements.
Yeah, it's only 68 pages, the PDF, actually. So
it's actually a very reasonable. I've written
reasonable size
68-ish page PDF, and it's navigable. Yeah. Love a navigable PDF. I really can't say enough about a game that knows when to stop. And Colossal.
Some rules have over 200 pages, and it's like, that's cool because it's like it's got everything. But then you're also like, good Lord, the amount of preparation for me to feel ready to play this game.
But that's the only kind of game that you're allowed to play if you want Christopher to watch a whole series.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We already know.
Well, yeah, I mean, D&D, how long is that rule book? It's pretty big.
It's infinite, man. There's like the core text, but then there's like 1,000 supplements.
Spin-offs. That's true. There's a lot that you could read, but some people like to read, I guess.
I do, but not when it's D&D. So when we draw cards, it's like it's X number of them, and we pick one.
No, we draw X number, and we're going to include all of those elements together. So we're going to.
Whoa! So the more exploration we have, the more trouble we're going to run into.
Yeah, the more cool stuff happens.
Cool stuff. Now I need to look closer at the prompt list. Cool stuff.
So if our leader has a higher exploration score, they're just gonna find more cool things to combine together into the setting of our next section.
Oh, these are cool things. I see. I was looking at the combat section where there's options like kill you.
That is the first option in the combat section, I'm pretty sure. Don't worry. The leader's not the only one who gets to have fun. Every person in the group who's not the leader also gets to draw one secret card that's just for you. And that is something that only your character has noticed. So our leader will be laying out the setting and telling us kind of where we are and how all these things can relate to each other. And you've got a secret card which you can pull out anywhere in this exploration phase. So whether they're making the setting, you might be like, well, my secret card says that there is a swamp, and you just said there is a cave. No, it's a swampy cave.
Oh.
That's great. Or hold on to it till later, because once we make the setting, after that, we're going to kind of sort of tell the story about what we do in the setting and what happens to us while we're here in this place. And maybe you want to pull it out in the middle of it, right? Like maybe your card says, indicates there's a trap. You can just throw that trap out sometime in the middle of our story just to spice things up. So that's what you can do if you're not the leader. Nick has also provided a fun complications table. If you feel like there's not enough going on when you draw all of your exploration cards and you want something crazier,
I need something crazier.
then you've got a complications table that you can draw a card on as well, just to complicate it. And they're particularly meant for this multiplayer version of the game. They just add a bit more. They're kind of, sometimes they invite multiplayer interactions and things. So that's pretty cool. Finding things over there, Kurt?
Just more art from Atomic Sorcery. That's adorable.
Oh, sick.
And I won't even say what it is. You'll have to be a part of the Discord if you want to see it.
It's so cute.
Sorry,
I love it.
Everyone else.
After we create the setting, we are gonna just tell the story together about what we do there, what happens. There's no particular rules that we have to follow in this section if we've got good ideas about what we want to happen. But sometimes we're gonna have a time where you're like, if you're like, well, I kind of want to try to like jump off of this side of this canyon and try to land in the lake below. I don't know if that's gonna work or not. Maybe something goes wrong. There's a cool little oracle, like a little table that we can draw and to find out whether things go well or things go poorly, if we want that to help us along. And there's even oracles, these cool tables for coming up with new story ideas if we want them. So if we ever get stuck, we've got cool oracles to draw on. And I believe they're all in the reference sheet there.
Sick.
The only other thing you need to know, sometimes some of the things that are going to come up are going to be things we could fight. So cultists, for example, might, they could be hostile. Bandits, probably hostile. All sorts of things we could run into. And there's also going to be rooks out there. If you draw a queen or a king in the exploration phase, that means there is one of these giant stone automatons, these rooks, in the setting. You don't have to fight. You can always choose to try to evade and avoid or deal with in a more peaceful way any of the threats that are coming your way. But sometimes fights are going to happen, and Colossal does have cool rules to have fun fights. We will go more into detail on the combat when we get there, but the brief version is we've all got combat scores. We're going to draw cards, that many cards into our secret little hand of combat moves. And our opponent will attack us with a certain number of cards.
This is so
and we have
cool.
to survive by beating their numbers on their cards with our cards.
Wow.
And with each attack, we'll tell a cool story of like what the rook does and then what we do to respond. And we can jump into the details when we get there.
That's really cool. And we can spin the wheel to affect some of the outcomes of our exploration/fights. This is a really cool battle system, I gotta say.
It's fun. It's very cool.
Sounds fun.
It's a good use of the deck of cards.
I'm just going to put the ice pack away really quick, and then I'll be right back. Sorry, I'm good.
When you get back, we will start.
Sounds good. I have like a heat rash, so I've just been like icing it because it's...
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah, it
Rough.
does suck. It's just really hot, Ay, ay, ay.
Ay, 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 indeed.
Ay, ay, ay.
Well,
you guys ready to play?
I mean, we better
Chat,
be.
you ready?
It's hard to say. They don't actually have a microphone. They have to type it out, and so it takes a minute.
Kind of seems unfair. I feel like there's an inequality.
We can just steamroll them right over. Like, it's hardly fair.
Twitch should have a feature where you can make everybody in the audience turn their microphone on, and they can all just also talk.
Horrifying. Absolute chaos.
Any syrup news, Kurt?
Ooh, syrup news. I went to a wedding on Saturday, and it was a beautiful wedding. I had so much fun. However, it turns out I'm too much of a snob to want bar rails anymore. If they don't have simple syrup and they don't have citrus juice, I don't know, I'll just have a beer, whatever.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wait, but aren't bar rails normally just like, gin and tonic kind of
Yeah,
thing?
and a G&T is classy. You can feel cool doing it, but I don't know. I feel like I want them to be a little more kitted out. Scribbles, it is game night with a live studio audience. That is what we do here almost every Monday. play a little indie tabletop role-playing game. Oh, and hello, Kevlar, as well. Kevlar Wolf 97. Your name implies that you are 27 years old. Maybe 26.
Is some Sherlock Holmes level deduction. It also implies that you are a bulletproof mammal.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that went without saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
think 27 is a good age for a wolf. So you're elderly.
I also wanted some Mentos.
Thanks
But
for
you
that,
got more than
Amanda.
originals. Oh, you also got Mentos.
I only had yogurt ones. I'm not sure how I feel about these guys. I don't think I can eat these. So instead, I got, Michael gifted me a while ago, these pumpkin spice soft caramels. They might be too soft for me to eat during the stream, but I just want something. I can't say what I'm about to say. It's gonna be taken the wrong way. All these things are gonna end up being clipped.
Oh,
If I say it, will you guys
no,
promise
that
you're
one's
gonna make fun
bad.
of me?
No, you shouldn't say that one.
You guys know what I mean.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're good.
So I'm gonna have one of these, and
Well, it's on
you all know what I mean, but I'm
My
not gonna
character's
say
name is
it.
CAMEO, so.
Yeah. I mean, I'll let you come to your conclusions. Ooh, they are very soft. It smells really good. Okay.
You just want something soft.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, more. Never mind.
I think we're ready to begin. So, we know that our trio spends the night on the very edges of the Rim Sea. The water splashing against the rocks. The pale white light of the braziers overhead casting shadows onto our faces as we catch up, telling our stories to each other. We hear about the letter that mysteriously brought Flats to this place. Flats hears about our harrowing journey and disapprovingly judges our failures at seafaring. And we all talk about the thing we want to find. The promised land of humans and rooks living in solidarity. The fire rook of my dreams, and the dragon rook that we saw pass overhead. We prepare for our journey the next day. Before we do, we have to choose a leader for the next part of our journey. Flats, do you know this terrain already, having already been on this side of the sea?
Yes, I was in a higher place earlier, not like dead, just on an elevated area, and so I got a lay of the land. Yeah, I'll lead.
Do you want to be the leader for our first round?
I'll draw 5 whole cards. Why
I feel
not?
like it makes sense based on also the fact that you welcomed us. And then you were like, you better stay warm, you rascals.
You rascals. You foolish rascals. Okay.
Yeah, draw cards. Sweet.
Yeah, I did. So now I am setting the rule book to be 1/2 of my monitor. Not the rule book. Nope, that's not what I need. Ha ha ha. Here it is. Okay. So, I drew a 3 of spades, which is an intact staircase. Looming before us, we see a series of giant steps leading up,
Whoa.
up. So tall that there are little winding paths that people have made to go up, 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 up one of the steps. Staircases
Like dug into the stone.
nested within staircases, yes.
Cool.
I drew an ace of clubs, evidence of raids and a large treasure. Halfway up the staircase, we can see running through the stone of the staircase like a vein is a kind of ore deposit, and there's mining operations happening there on the half stair mine. This too, part of the journey ahead of us. There, I drew a queen of clubs. I know the
Yeah.
difference between clubs and spades. Don't at me.
So a queen always
A
means
medium
there is a
rook?
medium rook. Now, just to give you guys a sense of scale, a medium rook is the size of like a car, or like even
Whoa.
a truck, or even a small building. So that is the size that we are thinking about here. Yeah. Do we get signs of this medium rook at all, Kurt?
Yeah, I think we see just what looks at first to be the roof, the pointed roof of one of the buildings of the settlement nearby, and then it moves and it begins to march across the stair just beneath half stair mine.
Okay. So between us and the stair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I keep going? I've got 2 more cards. Boom, boom.
Yeah. Yep. Hit us.
Okay, great. 3 of diamonds. There's a calling.
Okay, so let me explain it a little bit. So we all have callings. This indicates that there is someone, specifically someone, who is involved with our calling in some ways. They might have a clue about what we're looking for. They might be stopping us. They may know something. They may be involved. They may have something for us.
Okay. It's calling, not friendly. So I think we see people who have fled the village. And they see me accompanied by my rook. And they see... Would a mount also cause friction, perhaps? Do we think? A mount against someone who doesn't want
rooks to be damaged,
living, cohabitating?
Used. Yeah,
or is that...
mean, like it's literally a piece of their corpse that has been turned into a vehicle.
So probably less so. I'm the pariah here. I'm the person who's doing the bad stuff.
Wait, sorry, I don't understand. Why are you doing bad stuff?
Because there's someone related to my calling and they're not friendly. So I think among the refugees from the village who are watching as this rook walks through their village, not destroying anything, but has frightened people away, right?
Uh-huh.
We see among this group of people.
I see.
Someone who's casting me real dirty glances for my affiliation with this rook. For Birdie. Don't look at Birdie that way. I call out, proactively being angry about the idea of someone judging Birdie. Birdie's just my friend. And finally, I drew a jack of clubs, which means I found an item and must consult the item table.
You must consult the item table.
Do I draw a gain?
Yes, draw a gain.
Then I will draw a gain. In this game, a 9 of hearts. The suit doesn't matter. Only the 9, a machine part. Fascinating.
Interesting.
I'm gonna pivot a little.
Yeah.
I think there's a half-full oil can from the mine, and I, making eye contact with the dissenter, I apply it to the bearings on Birdie.
Okay. Cool.
I had a lot to say there.
Amanda,
do you want to spin and see if anything else we want to do before we move?
No.
I wish I could hear the wheel over Zoom.
I know, that'd be so satisfying.
I bet it's satisfying.
What do we got?
My choice
Amanda
again.
chooses?
Yeah.
Wow.
Amanda's choice.
Wow. Thanks, Wheel.
Give us something fun for this scene. You could name one of the NPCs. Give us some weather going on here.
Does chat have a name for one of the NPCs? Can I ask chat?
Well,
sure.
I mean, shouldn't you ask DeCarlo?
It's your choice, right? Amanda's choice. What's she gonna do?
Yeah, well, I mean, DeCarlo is also in chat. DeCarlo, if you have an opinion. Your spins here. But I'd love to get some inspo from chat if anyone has some ideas. I think that would be fun. We should name an NPC. That's always a good one. I'm thinking, can we name the rook? Is that an NPC? Ramona Flowers.
Well, I think maybe we could name the this sort of there's these refugees from the village with the rook is attacking that seem to be getting up in our face. They seem to be approaching us. We could
So
name those guys.
one of those refugees is Ramona Flowers.
Oh, Carla, nice. Okay, great. Ramona Flowers, right? Atomic Sorcery's asking what the rook looked like. Kurt, you said it looks like one of the buildings from the
Yeah,
village.
it looks like the other buildings in the town. It has a pointed red roof. It's a tower that could stand alone or be attached to another structure, made of stone. Kind of actually, now that I'm looking at the overlay, I guess it's got some common
like
features to our overlay. I don't think it's quite like that. I think it's a little bit more natural looking. But it's unclear if it was once part of the village or if it snuck in unawares because it looked so much like the other structures there.
Stealth rook. Okay. Amanda, you and I both need to draw a secret card that's just for us.
Secrets.
That we can add to this either right now or we can save it as we start to tell a story about what happens here. We can throw out this element later. This is something that only your character has noticed.
Okay, so we can use it for anything.
Yeah, so you can. So it'll indicate some event on the exploration tables, something on the exploration tables, and you can introduce that element at any time. So
wait,
for
it's
example,
an event prompt.
It's one of these exploration objects. So it might be an ancient ruins. So maybe when you get close, you've drawn a 4 of clubs, and there's some rubble of maybe a town that even used to be here and has already been destroyed by the rooks. Something like that you could introduce to the story.
It could be a massive skeleton.
Could indeed be a massive skeleton.
It could be
noticed
a medium rook.
Medium.
That's what we just
yes.
had. We had a medium rook. It could be a key.
Yeah? Is one of them key?
Yeah,
Where?
item prompt key.
Oh, okay. Well, so it's in the exploration.
We have to unlock.
Table.
Do we have to unlock an item to get the key?
Yeah. So one of the exploration items will tell you, "Hey, there's an item here," and then we can.
Whoa.
Then we can draw an item.
Okay.
So
okay.
you've drawn a card, right?
Yes.
So it will actually.
So
it actually indicates one of these things for you. So you don't have to choose whatever the suit and number are.
Right. So it's just from the top
thing.
two tables at the top.
Yeah.
And then those will tell you like, oh, you might have to do an event, you might have to do an item, and then that's when you go down.
That's right. Exactly.
Okay. And then do you draw an additional card?
If you have an item or an event, yeah.
Yeah, Mary Elizabeth Winstead is awesome. I agree with this.
Same.
She's great.
Same.
Okay, guys.
By the way, Atomic Sorcery suggested Thatch as the name of the rook, which is
rook.
sick
I
as
like
hell.
that.
That's awesome.
Love that. Extremely cool.
Christopher said, "Call it Tower." You guys call it Tower? You guys did a great job naming it.
Tower. Okay, I love this setting that we've got set up here. Now it's just up to us to kind of tell the story of what happens here. We can take on roles of NPCs if we want to bring the story to life. We can narrate it.
We can do anything.
Speak as our characters. Yeah.
We're invincible.
All right, cool. We start in media res, and we see Flats crouched beside Birdie, making eye contact with Ramona, the villager, who I think there's already bad blood here. I think Flats has passed through here earlier, and now Flats is escalating the issue. Flats says, "What? What are you gonna get between me and this little sweet thing? Get the hell out of here! Don't give me a look like that."
Don't bring that thing around here. Maybe it's the young of that monster back there, and maybe that's why it's come here. Destroyed my family.
What?
Because of your science experiment.
That guy? That guy up there?
Yes.
And I think
smashing through some building.
I think Ramona starts to rollerblade around you. She has like these
cool stone rollerblades.
Rollerblades, yeah, they're made out of stones and like little bits of like Rook.
But like, they're, like,
Scavenged. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I pivot around Birdie to try to keep making eye contact with Ramona as she like encircles me angrily, and yeah, Flats is just pissed the hell off, which is not unusual for Flats, and says, "This one hasn't done anything to you. Not all of them do anything, and you know what? You know what? They probably don't even recognize your village as anything but a bunch of corpses of your kind. Corpses of their own kind. You're living in them. You made this choice."
We only did that because they are vicious. We have to defend ourselves. Who cares if we make our homes inside the structures of the monsters that tried to kill my children? Give it to me.
Give it to you?
Yes.
No. I'm not going to give you anything. Why, if I walked over here wearing a human skull, that wouldn't piss you off? That wouldn't make you want to...
Of course. What are you saying?
I'm saying this is really on you. You could have done anything. You used them. Now you got to live with it.
By living our lives? It just came from nowhere. It waited until morning and then it attacked, nestled in with the other buildings. My father is still up there.
And at this point, I think like a look of regret crosses Flat's face. Maybe perhaps unhappy to have been charging into things.
I think this is when Spoolie, she has her top hat on over her bandana, and she is riding her apple mount. And she's aiming it, I think, at Ramona, seeing that there's this altercation. She doesn't like that Ramona is circling her new companion. So Spoolie's gonna try to kind of at least come between. I don't know if Spoolie is aiming for like anything drastic here, but more like a break it up, you know?
Okay, what do we think happens? I kind of almost want there just to be a fight.
Yeah, I mean, there might be a fight. I don't know. Well, do I do anything? Do I pick up a card to see how that goes? When do we pick
yeah, if you wanted to, if you want to get a little random.
Should I spin the wheel to see what happens?
We actually have a nice little oracle thing happening in the rules of the game. So if you actually want to go to the third page of the rules reference, so that's the actual PDF.
Oracles.
You can draw a card on that first table right there, and it can tell us kind of whether you succeed or not. So if your goal is to like just get in, what's your goal? What do you want to do?
I think my goal is to like split it up.
Peacefully?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
Like just
Diffuse?
like diffuse it by rolling on through. I'm gonna
So
spin the wheel too.
Yeah, spin it too. A little bit of column.
But I'll draw a card as well. So this says something lovely happens. Okay, so out of whatever's about to happen, whether it's good or bad, the silver lining is something lovely will also happen.
All right, cool.
Draw a card.
That's pretty interesting.
So let's find out. Do you diffuse this situation?
Ooh, let's find out. I'm gonna flip it.
Flip it.
Nine of diamonds.
Red
Very
is bad. 9 is middle of the road.
Yeah, so it's just no. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
But something lovely happens.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Amanda?
I think as Spoolie goes to split it up, she doesn't end up getting in between them, because at the last minute, when she's close enough that she could just bang right up against, Ramona, who's there. She recognizes her. And I think Spoolie realizes that that's not just some person.
Mhm.
That's her cousin, Ramona Flowers.
Oh my god. Is your name Spoolie Flowers?
Yeah, my name is Spoolie Flowers.
We all know that.
We all know that. And I think she, as she's about to connect with Ramona, like, just flips off of the top of the apple. She's doing her rolling thing, moving it forward, and flips down to the side with one of her ropes and just, like, digs her feet in, and then the wheel starts to tilt this way. And almost falls on top of her because she's so shocked. But she manages to counteract it at the last second and kind of climbs back up, scrambles back up as it's falling backwards towards her to get back on top of it. Meanwhile, the hat of the apple is now under the apple, and it's a little off kilter. She's kind of perched sideways on it like this, just hanging on for balance. Yo, Spoolie's got to be jacked as well. Can we just acknowledge that? Running
That's
around
true.
on an apple.
Like hanging off of it all the time?
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. Oh, Ramona?
What are you doing here?
Well, we're just trying to get across.
I haven't seen you since we were kids.
Yeah, it's been a bit. How are you doing? Sorry I never wrote.
Sort of bad right now. Your uncle Days is in that tower, and she points up to a tower in the village, which Thatch is slowly making his way towards, smashing sideways into the various structures that make up the village. He can't walk, as you know, and I couldn't get him out in time. I was looking to see if there was anyone down here to help me until I saw this sympathizer. And she points over at Flats.
Oh, well, I was just coming over because I thought maybe there was a misunderstanding going on here, and sounds like there might be.
I think Flats puts up a hand and says, "Yeah, there is. I didn't know there were people up there. And you know what? I think we can do something about it. Come on, Birdie," Flats says pointedly to the strange little being beside him.
And do you start like heading up for like the stairs within stairs to?
Yeah, I think at a good clip too. Not a sprint, but at least a jog.
I like how even though my plan didn't work, it kind of did work.
Yeah, it did.
I didn't stop the fighting, but I kind of just got diffused from
something
the
so
fact
lovely
that
happened.
I see my cousin, which is pretty lovely.
I think Carmel is super interested in Flats, like very intrigued by this person who seems to like have adopted this rookling, has a very different way of thinking about rooks than almost anybody Carmel has ever met. And so they've been like watching carefully, but are a little bit quiet. And as you start heading for the stairs, Carmel sort of like runs right up behind you, Flats. What's the plan?
General Ace, thank you for following.
We can reason with it, right? Or if we can't, we can fight it. Because, look, I don't want anybody worse off here. And then I think there's like a regretful look back at the clustered people who've evacuated the village. This rook is doing damage.
It's likely that it's misunderstood. Oftentimes they try to return to sacred places to themselves. It comes across as violence, but it's self-defense, perhaps.
There's like a twinkle that you haven't seen yet in Flat's eye, and Flat says, "You get it. You get it. All right.
Everyone
See what we
always
can't
disagrees
do.
with me. This is new.
Let's go."
All right.
Sounds like we're moving into another little part of our tale. I don't know what happens, Anthony. I don't know things. I don't know things about this game.
We haven't I think we're still in this setting because you've described this village, you've described this mine. So we're gonna finish this off before we move on to the next thing. So we're just gonna keep narrating here. We can kind of jump ahead. We don't have to like say all of the things that happen. We don't have to play them all out. There's many scenes and things to explore. To me, the most exciting thing maybe is to find out what happens if we try to reason with Thatch, because that's not an approach that is often taken with rooks. I don't know if it's successful. Rooks don't normally speak. We don't know how that would go. But also, I want to know what Spoolie's doing, because the other two are marching right into the village. Are you coming with?
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
Spoolie's coming with. I think Spoolie is rolling the apple along, back on the top. That hat's going around and around. It's looking pretty tattered right now, and so I think as Spoolie's rolling forward on the apple mount, she's weaving, working a new hat for the apple mount.
What color?
This one is gonna be blue, I think, in honor of my cousin.
Okay.
And I think Spoolie says, you know, she originally dyed my hair. She's the one that got me into it. Ramona.
Oh, the blue.
The blue. Yeah.
I
It
understand.
haven't touched it up in a while. That's why it's really faded. Man, I haven't been back here. I didn't even know that we were heading back to my home. That's how long it's been. Isn't that crazy?
You forgot it was here.
I
This is
forgot
where you're
that
from?
it existed. Yeah, this is where I'm from.
Wow.
These are my people. I forgot that they were here.
Is more of your family here?
Well, my uncle, I mean, not my direct family, like my mom and dad.
Yeah.
Nah.
Oh.
I spent some time here when I was younger, but that was after everything went sideways and I got separated from my parents, so I don't know where they are. Maybe one day we'll see them.
I'm sorry. And I think at this point we've started to climb the stairs that are carved into the stairs, and we've like we've gotten like some stairs up, and I look back at the giant rolling apple and go, how does that thing handle stairs and steep ascents?
That
I
one's
missed it.
that one's you, Amanda.
You're asking me what's the top?
No, your giant rolling apple. We
Yeah.
have to climb narrow staircases up into the ascents of the stairs. I'm concerned. I just don't know, how does that apple handle stairs?
Oh, how does it handle stairs? That's a great question. How does it handle stairs?
How does it handle stairs?
Well, usually when I'm going upstairs, I don't usually go upstairs. I
thought that might be the
usually
case.
would destroy the stairs and kind of just go right through wherever the stairs are. It's kind of how I built it. But we could probably
We look
figure
up at like
something out.
10,000 stairs rising, like our size stairs rising up the staircase.
Yeah, but
That might not work here.
could probably figure something out. I have my whip here. I don't know if you've seen this. And Spoolie pulls it out and it just like unfurls and it's like hits the ground. This could be a good little pulley system. You know what I mean?
we're in a bit of a hurry.
Well, we just we just need something to throw it around, and we climb up.
Amanda, tell us what happens here. How do you deal with your stair conundrum? And does it go well or
Does it go well? I'm gonna have to
poorly,
draw
or...
for this. I'm also gonna spin the wheel again because we still got some spins to do here. Choose a part of the castle.
I was thinking that this might be fun to choose a castle element that you would like to appear in the world, like a
Nice.
suit of armor or
Ooh,
a
yeah,
torch on the wall or something that might sort of manifest in our world in massive form.
DiCarlo, do you have any suggestions as this is your spin?
It's true. They're all DiCarlo spins at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. They're all DiCarlo spins. So DiCarlo, if you have any suggestions, I like ChemDog is throwing out their moat for people to consider.
Moat's a good one. Though we'll be outside the castle, which might be tricky.
I'm glad you're enjoying the stream, Christopher. And if you headed out, I hope you have a good night. Thank you so much. If you're saying, because you said, great stream, I loved it. Congrats.
Was in past tense, yeah.
Past tense.
So Christopher might be gone.
So either you left or died, maybe, which would be
Hopefully
really sad
not.
on one hand, but also
No.
then I wouldn't have to play Pathfinder. So there's something special to be said for that too.
Kurt is really excited to potentially play Pathfinder with us, is what Kurt is saying.
He said before the
Yes.
stream started that he's looking for an excuse to play Pathfinder, so don't worry, that's definitely going to happen.
Every day I wake up and think, how can I abandon my scrappy indie reputation and embrace Hasbro and Heartbreakers of all sorts?
So, yeah, we'll
While
wait
we
for
are waiting for a response there,
that suggestion. I could pull a card, but
Sure.
I think my idea here is to find like something that might be sticking out like further up,
okay,
Sure.
yeah, sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
or like if maybe, yeah, I think that would be good. Or if there's someone like up in a window, I think maybe Spoolie's plan is to whip the window, call over someone, whip the window. They're gonna hold the whip, and then she's gonna whip the other side, and the whip is long enough that we could just put the apple underneath. She can shimmy up the whip, and then she's gonna find something inside to secure it to. So she can
you're imagining
kind
there's
of
like
slowly shimmy it up.
You're imagining there's like a building that that's like
I'm
maybe at the
thinking
top
like
of the
something
stairs.
that's like hanging on it. I don't know why I think of this with turrets, but I always think like with any spherical buildings that there's like things that hang off of them like this. I don't know why I'm thinking that, like perpendicular.
Yeah, sure.
Is that a real thing?
Just for context, I think the way I'm imagining it, we're on a
Grapple
giant
apple
staircase.
harpoon. Yes, grapple apple harpoon. TM. We're in
Nice.
a giant staircase. Is that
Right, so we're like going up a giant
Yeah.
staircase. So each stair of the giant staircase is like a massive cliff, right? It's like
Mhm.
like 500 meters tall, and there's like little stairs that like weave their way up the massive staircase. But there could be like something at the top of the
That's what I
giant
was thinking.
stair.
I was thinking like, couldn't there be like windows or something that's like overlooking where the stairs are?
But that would be like, you're talking like actual colossal windows.
I'm talking
Those would be
any windows.
those would be like kilometers up.
Yeah, it's fine. Kilometers up. We can do
You've got a really long whip.
This
Sick.
whip is really long.
All right.
It can be any length, and it's really strong. I wove it myself.
Wow, that's a lot of weaving.
It's a lot of weaving, and it might take me a minute to shimmy up there and find some place to secure it, but I'm confident that the apple will come.
A minute. A kilometer climb into the air.
Just take me a minute. Spoolie's like, sorry, just take me 1 minute. Let me just climb a kilometer up.
We're definitely leaving a Spoolie behind, by the way. There's no way that this is going to end fast
No,
enough
she's
for us
fast. She's
to
fast.
deal. We have to go save some people.
Well, she's coming. Look, you're gonna need the apple when you get up there. Trust me. Trust me.
Maybe.
I have a
Maybe.
thought. I think Spoolie's got a dream of kilometer high window but does manage instead to reach the mining equipment, perhaps
Oh, yeah, nice.
a few
Could be.
dozen or 100 feet up instead, just like one step above the village.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that definitely happening, right?
I drew a card for it to see how it went.
Yeah. We've got yes
It's-
with the complication. That's
It's
pretty good.
black. Yeah, so yes of the complication.
Oh, well, look at me
That works
naturally
perfectly.
resolving it in the way that the
Naturally
cards
resolved.
predicted.
You
Yeah.
successfully grapple something, but not the window a kilometer up. It's the mining equipment.
So I'm going to consider that DiCarlo may not be here right now.
That's
And
totally possible.
It's totally possible. I don't know if it lets me see who's in chat. Can I see that? That's kind of creepy, but I think I can.
Who's in here?
Who's in
Who's
here?
here?
I don't think DiCarlo's in here right now, so I'm gonna say that we can take this. He said yes, Chemdog. Wahip. DiCarlo, how do you feel about an element of a castle appearing here? And if so, what would you like for us to incorporate into the story? Chemdog suggested a moat, but also if there's anything that you like. I'm here, says DiCarlo. All right, all right.
He's here.
Yeah. All right, all right.
Yes.
So I will say that yeah, it was complicated. It was a 4, so yes with a complication. I'm gonna say that maybe yeah, just what Kurt said, I guess, where it's like I go part way up and I'm like, wow, it's actually a lot of work, and then I'm just like, oh hey, this equipment here could work. And I think maybe the other thing is that we all kind of have to be involved in it. So Spoolie thought she could just do it herself, but it's like it actually takes like a small team. So we have to like get some of the people in the village to like help, and then you guys are helping, and between all of us. Yeah.
Okay. We all lug Spoolie and the apple up.
So maybe the whip idea was a little, I didn't really think it through, but I appreciate everybody's help. Hopefully that wasn't too much work. How's everyone feeling?
Everyone's kind of grumpy about it, I think.
It's really unfortunate because now that we're all the way up here, I think we have to cross that moat over there. But you know,
is it like an us-sized moat
no, I think
around
it's
the town?
big.
That would be outside the castle.
No, it's inside the castle. It's a
Okay, well,
mid
that would be an
castle
ocean.
moat. Yeah,
That's
well,
gonna be really big.
it's kind of big, but it's not like, I wouldn't say it's ocean size, but maybe like a small lake.
Okay.
But the good news is because we got the apple up, you know, now we can use it as like a boat. So
Okay, so we see everybody fleeing the village, and they've like come over on boats to this side of the stair that they're on.
yeah.
And we need to get back into the village to cross this moat around the village. And luckily, it was all worth it to lug the apple up here, so because we can ride it across. That's great.
Thanks for the hydrate and the posture check, Rapala, by the way. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
When we arrive on the other side of the moat, the rook is like getting closer and closer to this tower. Where
Well, I don't think
Yonko
it
is.
can be the moat that's outside the castle because this is colossal. So the castle is so big that the moat is where we go to when we die, isn't it?
Yeah, no one's ever seen the outside. Of the
Yeah,
castle.
no one's ever seen the outside of the castle, DiCarlo, so we can't really get to that. Well, I mean, we could. We could get
It's
to the outside
mythical.
of the castle.
We could see something through one of the windows.
That's
potentially,
true.
As we climb the stairs.
That's why
Maybe
I made it a
where-
mid-castle moat. And I feel like in a castle that's as big as Colossal, there can be moats anywhere at any turn. Mid-castle moat. Because this is I mean, when is a castle this big? That's the other question that you have to answer. When have you ever seen a castle as big as this castle that takes up like multiple lands?
I've only seen like one or two in my whole
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna look
Let's,
it up. Are there moats that are in the middle of castles? It's usually a fortification. This is true, but
I suggest we wrap up this little exploration phase because I think we want to do a little bit more before
Yes.
our night comes to an end.
Yes, yes.
So let's find out what happens as we meet this rook. We have a couple options. We've suggested that we maybe want to talk to the rook, right? Flat suggested we can reason with it. I'm
Yeah.
very curious about how that would go down. Do you have any ideas?
Yes. I think I want to try to channel Birdie as a vessel through which to speak with Thatch. So I think maybe what we see is Flat takes a hand and places it just so gently against the water at the top of Birdie. And Birdie begins to use that rumble magic to make the water vibrate. And little ripples move out from my hand. Ripples that continue forward through the air towards the rook. I guess I'll see if that worked. Time to draw.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're making good use of this oracle here.
Also,
It
I
is
have
an
a thought
ace
on
of
when you can have a moat
diamonds.
in the middle of a castle.
Tell us while I find out.
So a moat is a fortification, right? But this castle is so big that what if the moat was actually created to create space between anything that's a threat? And so, like, this was initially an area where maybe there were two warring sides, like two villages. So they built a moat to, like, separate them from each other. Like, they were like, yeah, you stay out of here. So it's actually a drawbridgeless moat because we don't want people to cross it. But it is a fortification in the sense that people were using it to try to keep people out. But they're just trying to keep people out from the other side of that moat, if that makes sense.
Cool. So can we
I don't know
still include it as the moat around this village then on this stair?
Yeah,
the
I think
scale's
it's like
a bit weird, but
yeah. Well, I mean, I figured this castle is beautifully nonsensical. So whoa,
Good.
Angry Magma, thank you so much for the 5 bits. I don't know where the zombie came from. I think I changed that earlier in the day, but it wasn't working. But now all of a sudden it is. So thank you for the 5
You never
bitties.
want to not know where the zombie came from.
don't
Yeah.
want to lose that zombie.
Did it come from the moat? I don't know.
Kurt, what happens?
It's worse than expected. Not
Protected
only does it not work,
irrigation
but it's
picture.
worse than expected.
Oh no.
Yeah, so here's what happens. As Birdie and I work together, trying desperately to communicate a message, Thatch turns, all 3 vast arms swiveling, and then beginning to, like, point towards us to cast a kind of spell, because from Thatch's perspective, I'm threatening a rooklet.
Uh-oh. I think we're going to take this opportunity to have a combat phase as Thatch turns on us.
I think we should spin the wheel.
Sure, give us a spin.
Did you just say spaghetti spin?
Spaghetti spin.
I said give us a spin, but spaghetti spin's cute.
Oh, choose a light color. DiCarlo, do you have any requests for the lights? I have everything very red right now in my room, but we could do anything. I know you like rainbows. The rainbow lights. They're the best. They're really good.
Who doesn't like a rainbow?
But also we could do solid. I can make my mic breathe. That's another thing.
Breathe. Whoa.
There's also like a rosé thing that changes. There's also, I think, an aurora borealis that you can put for the LEDs. You know. I know. I know what you want. All right. Multicolored. Let's do it. Cool.
Multicolored.
All right. And we head, I
Nice.
guess, into the breach.
As we start to become attacked, we enter a combat phase, and in order to resolve combats in Colossal, we all have to draw cards equal to our combat score to kind of see what moves we have to work with. So I invite you guys to do that right now. I just drew 5 cards because I've got a sick-ass combat score because I've got a cool ice magic that I can employ. Keep those secret, actually, for the rules of the game. Yeah. Great. Everyone's drawn cards?
I've
Here's
got
how it's gonna
cards.
go.
How
Okay,
many
I'll
cards do
start
we
off.
get?
How many is your combat score?
Up to your combat score.
Oh, 2.
Your combat score is 2.
But I haven't used my other one. I still have that one, right?
Yeah, I just store that one away.
Okay, okay.
Put it to the side.
Oh, throw it away?
Just
store
put
it.
Store it somewhere.
Oh, it's got to be kept secret. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
The
Ideally.
first one I drew.
That one, yeah, that one's because that's a exploration element.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so here's how it's gonna go. In a 3-player version of this game, a medium rook has 9 attacks. It's going to attack each one of us in turn, drawing a card from the deck that we have to try to counter. So that's the way combat always works. Our opponent attacks us, and we counter. So as an example, I'm going to draw a card for our medium rook as it first shoots. Did you say what kind of magic it's shooting, Kurt?
The rook uses my rooklet birdie uses rumble magic, but what kind does Thatch use?
Or do you know?
There's electricity, rumble,
and ice.
Ice. Ooh, they all seem like strange fits with Thatch, but I feel like it's got to be rumble then, because that makes sense.
I like that.
That makes sense vis-a-vis feeling extra protective of the rooklet.
Right.
They share a common sense.
Cool. Okay. So actually, one thing I slightly forgot. So when we meet a rook, we can actually create the details of the rook. So we know it's using rumble magic. We can also draw to find out whether it mostly uses like ranged attacks or melee attacks up right close. And so I'll draw a card for that. And so this is mostly a melee up close rook. That's the kind we're dealing with. Its body can either be oriented towards mostly attacking or mostly defending. And I'll draw a card for that. And this one's mostly sort of a defense-oriented rook, so sort of lots of arms that kind of like with shields that protect and keep safe. And then finally, every rook brings with it a reward, something that if we defeated this rook, that we could take with us. And so the options are a helm, an arm, a rookling, another rookling, or a weapon that might be left behind by this rook if we were to defeat it. Which might not be our intention here, but we'll draw a card for that. And I've drawn a club, so there is an arm that we could take if we won, which isn't particularly exciting to us because none of us have any arms. None of us are the armed. But
we've got human arms.
We do have human arms. We don't have any cool rook arms. Okay, so we know a little bit more about our rook. Here's how combat goes. We're going to draw an attack for our rook. I'm gonna flip it over. Ooh, a queen of spades. That's a pretty big attack. Ace is low, king is high in this game. The suit on the card also tells us what kind of attack it is. Because you kind of said it was gonna be a magical attack, right?
I did say that, but it doesn't have to be.
I've done a spade, which would make it an unarmed attack, but I want to go with the flow of the story. So let's keep it as a magic attack. I'm going to make it attack me, so for story reasons, let's say that I've jumped in front of Birdie as this attack comes out in order to try to, like, just defend. And now, so I'm going to attack with the queen. I've got a couple options here. I need to choose one card from my hand to counter. If I choose a card that's higher, I'm going to win this little attack face-off right here. If we can win a majority of the attacks, then we will win the whole fight, and we defeat the rook. We can drive it off. We can blow it up, whatever we want to do. If I choose a card that's lower, I lose. I'm going to take a wound, which we'll talk about in a second. If you take enough, you can die. And if you lose enough, you lose the whole fight. And you have to flee and get out of there, and you do not get what you want.
Whoa.
So
we can die?
We can die, yes. I think actually, I'm not sure. I haven't played a lot, but I kind of feel like it's not that hard to die in Colosseum. You have to watch out.
I think that would sound correct based on how crazy these rooks do be.
So I'm going to draw a King of Hearts.
Okay.
Oh, so I'm going to play a King of Hearts because I have some good cards in my hand so that I can win this attack. I've jumped in front of Birdie, and there is this, like, beam of rumble magic. We can see the air like wavering as if there was like heat distorting light in the air as these waves of like sound start to like emanate forward, and thinking quickly, Carmel sort of like puts their hands on the side of the helmet and the quartz crystals on the front begin to like grow and shoot forward, and they hit the ground, and a wall of ice like emanates right in front of Carmel and Birdie. This thick ice wall reflects the wave of force, sending it back at Thatch, and Thatch, like for a second, is like off kilter, thrown off its feet, before it swings back with another attack. Who's next in our order? I guess if we go screen clockwise, it's Amanda.
It's Amanda.
Right.
All right,
so
Amanda,
can I
ready?
fight? This is a medium rook, right?
Yes.
Can I even fight this? Because my combat score is 2.
So you are definitely going to lose one of these fights for sure, because you're not going to have any cards left when it attacks you for the 3rd time.
Ooh.
One good thing when we're playing in a multiplayer version of Colossal like this, if one of you loses, if any of us loses a fight,
Right.
somebody else can choose to jump in with a higher card and play
Right.
that as well.
Okay.
And it stops you from taking a wound. It doesn't actually make you win the fight, that part of the fight. It just stops you from taking a wound. So we can protect each other if necessary by playing a higher card. So we've drawn a 10 of hearts. 10. So a heart is going to be a magic attack. So Thatch is attacking magically. Kurt, do you want to narrate the attack, and then Amanda can narrate her defense or not so good defense?
Yeah. This rumble attack, instead of targeting sort of a wave through the air, this one is trying to bring something down from the mine, loosen a clump of ore, which we can hear against the stair side as it falls towards us.
Ooh. What are you going to do?
What can I do?
So you just want to choose one of the 2 cards in your hand. If it's higher, that'd be great.
Because then I can defend?
Yeah, so if it's higher, you're going to win this combat, and we need to win 5 of these in order to actually win this
So it
fight.
has to be higher than a 10?
Correct. If you don't have that, you're going to end up losing and taking a wound unless one of us saves you.
I cannot play anything higher than a 10.
So you just have to play one of your cards anyways. You always have to play up card. Okay. So throw one out there, and the suit will say what you tried to do.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, my cards don't do anything then. They're just like, it's all about the number value, but it is about what you're doing.
It won't
so
matter
would that
too
be
much,
like
but...
my attack type, or would that be...
Yeah. The suit's going to tell you what kind of attack type you do. So a spade is an unarmed attack, a club is a weapon attack, a heart is a magic attack, and a diamond is a creative attack using some element of your environment or combining things.
I'll use this. I'll use my club. So that would have been a weapon attack. So I think that I try to throw my top hat. Yeah?
I forgot about the top hat.
Whip. Yeah, I think the Spoolie's like, I got this. She flattens her top hat, and she's like, top hat, go! And it just bounces right off that rug. And she's like, oh, shoot. It didn't work.
And so then what happens?
I think in attempting to get closer so that she could have accuracy, which the good news is she did manage to have perfect accuracy. So that's pretty nice. She gets a little too close and kind of gets knocked off of her mount.
Okay.
Falls to the ground and gets all scuffed up. Nicholas, thank you so much for subscribing over on YouTube.
Okay, Kurt. Now it turns to attack. Flats. I've drawn a jack of diamonds. So this is a creative attack coming from Thatch. It sees this perfect red ball just sitting here. And that looks like a real fun thing to kick. So it brings back its stone foot, and it just kicks the big apple right at you in order to try to clear you out of its way.
I
Got a
hold
card?
my slingshot up and, like a wishbone, break it in half,
Whoa.
stretching the elastic and jamming part of it into a little outcropping. And then I pull back the other half to make a wide band to fling that apple back. And I'm gonna play the Queen
What you
of
got?
Diamonds.
Woo! That's good.
Yeah, it is.
That's awesome.
The apple tumbles through the air and slams right into Thatch, who staggers backwards.
I think even we might like see some like debris of like one of Thatch's lower rooms get like sort of blasted open. And I want to imagine that we can like see inside of Thatch in like one of the rooms inside this like walking castle. There's like a nice like pink rug and like side table with like a potted plant on it. You just gotta get a peek in.
Yeah, we for sure do.
Okay, we've won 2 out of 3. We've got 2 more rounds left. Just want to draw a card to attack me with and narrate that attack.
I'll do it. I drew an ace of spades.
So
An
this is
ace of
actually
spades.
low in this game.
Sure is.
Yeah.
So it's an unarmed attack. What do they do?
Thatch is
Oh, do
is
I
still
get to draw a card? Do we always have 2?
No, you only have that many.
It's only
total
one at
for
the
your whole
beginning.
fight.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang it.
Thatch, in that stumble backwards, lashes out forward to try to overcorrect for it. But it's a weak swing towards you. What do you do?
It's a weak swing towards me. Great. I see my opportunity here, and I jump. I'm like, Flats, throw me! And I jump into Flat's arms while wielding my hammer. Will you please throw me?
Little fastball
Yeah.
special.
And he will.
Yay! Flats throws me, and I go flying through the air, wielding back my little sonic boom hammer. And as it's like punching towards me, I like manage to hit it on the elbow to like propel it even further forward to just send this big stone arm like rocking forward. And poor Thatch like completely loses balance and like smashes like headlong into a hill. And imagine it has got this like little peaked flat roof that like digs into the earth and gets like jammed in and stuck in the hill. And for a moment, it is incapacitated. I'll play my 4 of diamonds here.
This is not going well.
Well, goes well for us.
Well.
Ish.
I think we need
Amanda,
another wheel spin.
Give us a wheel spin.
Respin.
Dramatic.
I know, it was very dramatic. And then I was like, so respin. A rook sighting.
Another one?
Another one. Maybe this rook will help us.
Okay, actually, I have an idea. What if it's one of the 2 rooks we're hunting for?
Ooh. Yeah. It's
like
gotta
that.
be, right?
Which one? There's the dragon rook overhead.
I think there must be. Maybe a shadow passes over, and we look up. If only we weren't midway through trying to save this village.
Yeah.
But it's there, and we all
there.
saw it.
I feel like could we do something to call it over? Maybe it could help us.
Well, that's
Maybe
a good
it's
question.
friendly. Maybe it's
Because
a friendly
currently
dragon.
you're being attacked.
I am. So.
Thatch, I've drawn a 2 of diamonds. So this is a creative attack. This is not a very good creative attack, apparently. Thatch is like jammed into this hill for a second, which does buy us all a second to like look up and be like, "Wow, dragon!" But Thatch is still working on things, still moving, and Thatch realizing it now has a head full of dirt is going to use that to its advantage. So it does kind of like a cool like yeah maneuver, shooting its head backwards and launching a cascade of earth towards Spoolie. So Spoolie like looks up to see the dragon, and then like a shadow comes over Spoolie, and you look
Oh,
up, and there's
boy.
like this pile of dirt that is like about to come down on you. What you got?
Okay.
Two.
Well,
This might be good.
I think I got this one because I got an 8 of diamonds.
It's a creative attack.
Yeah.
Could the dragon help?
Could the dragon help? It's possible. I'm gonna say that Spoolie is on the ground already in the dirt, sees this dirt coming down, and goes to just like flick the dirt away with her whip. She just like flicks it up, and it's when she flicks it up that I think the dragon rook gets tickled on its belly.
Okay.
Because we already established this whip is a really long whip right now.
That we have.
So the whip doesn't do much for the dirt, but when the dragon rook swoops down to kind of like a cat and mouse kind of thing. It's kind of like, you know, have you ever gotten one of those fuzzy feather things? Yeah, with cats, like a cat toy. And so the dragon rook swoops down with its stone arms out, and it manages to fly low under the dirt and shields.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Immediately comes to your rescue. How interesting.
Yeah. Spoolie. And I mean, is this like a successful defense?
Yeah, you win this one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then I'm gonna spin the wheel again because we still have 4 spins left.
Nice. Also, you get to narrate. Wait, no, Kurt gets to narrate an attack on Amanda. I think is where we're at.
Ooh. We can change the light colors. I mean, we just changed them, so I think I should do a respin. What do you guys think?
Wait, no, I must have messed this up. Yeah, change them again.
Yeah.
Or respin? Sure, respin.
You don't get a... But my attack just happened, didn't it?
Yeah, sorry, I messed it up.
We get
It's
another
Kurt
rook
attacking me.
sighting.
Whoa! The other rook!
Yeah, maybe the other rook comes in.
So...
Pyro rook.
Actually, yeah, okay, so not only do we see this dragon up ahead, but the golden walls of the mines that are like up above us on the step above begin to start to glow red, with reflections of flames. And as we look up on the cliffs above us, we see a triple spired rook, with kind of like 3 massive towers on top of it. This is a massive rook, the size of one of the sort of, the biggest castle you've seen, that sort of lumbers to the edge of this cliff and looks down. And in each of those 3 towers, there is a circular window that glows bright red with flames, and it looks down over top of the cliff and onto the fight below us, and it sort of like just blazes with with fire pits and torches all across its body. Its intentions, I think, are unclear.
Flats is going to turn, seeing the rook. I'm sure last night we talked about our objectives. We talked about what we wanted, what we saw, and so Flats turns to Carmel and says, "It's an omen. They're not both here by coincidence."
What do you mean? What does it mean?
Flats shakes his head. I don't know.
And in that very instant, I think Thatch has figured out what to do next. I drew native clubs for this attack.
You sure did. And Thatch does exactly what Thatch sets out to do. So let me know how that goes.
Wait. Oh, I see. You're taking this as an attack on you. I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
it's an attack on me.
That's an attack on you. Okay. So, bye. We're saying bye.
Bye, Rapala. Good night.
Bye. Okay, so Thatch, what's Thatch up to? Thatch just thrown dirt, and maybe Thatch hasn't noticed the pyro rook at the top here. So it's gonna use a weapon attack Thatch has two massive walls mounted on each of its arms that when it's in like okay, Thatch is a transformer, it turns out. So when it goes into transformer mode, it like turns into like a perfectly normal tower, and the walls like come in on either side. But when it's in fighting mode, it's got these like two giant shields basically, and it just swings across to kind of like body slam you with an entire wall.
Whoa.
And I guess so it does. What does that look like?
I think well, it looks bad for sure. I think it's enough that I get knocked like a good distance, right? Like probably skid 10 feet in a direction and you know, bounce a couple times. It's not good. I took some damage there for sure.
Can we retcon that that you say like it's an omen, they're both here, and I'm like, what does it mean? And as you're like about to answer the question, you just get like just absolutely destroyed.
That's exactly what happens, yeah.
I think maybe we could spin the wheel. Maybe something lovely will happen.
Do it.
Is something awful on this wheel?
Yes.
It is, I think.
What did I just get?
I don't know. I can't see it from here.
Something awful.
There you go.
Oh no.
There you go. It just did, right? Like
It already did.
I'm happy with that. I think we can go a little further and say like I break a rib for sure, right?
What if Birdie gets hit too?
Oh
Ooh.
no.
Yeah, we both get hit, and I have a moment on the ground where I think like it's okay, I'm fine, and then like there's a hideous crack as like Birdie lands on my chest and cracks a rib, my rib.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's terrible.
We've got 3 more attacks.
I thought I could make it better. And we have 2 more spins.
And with 2 more spins, Kurt, will you draw an attack on me?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Of course.
A 7 of diamonds.
A 7 of diamonds. That is a creative attack from Thatch.
So, emboldened by the success, Thatch is going to. I think the slingshot that was stretched across is still there, and I think Thatch gropes around for something to use as a projectile, and maybe failing to find anything, like pulls off a stone from its construction, pulls it back, and
amazing. This giant stone, this like shoulder of Thatch's like comes hurtling towards me, and I think it's like probably like as big as my torso, if not larger.
It's like the size of a bathtub. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna say Thatch reached into a room and pulled out like a clawfoot tub.
Oh my god!
This is great. This is great. I am with like the most like confidence you've ever seen of somebody facing down a bathtub. I just grab the giant mallet off my back and I'm like, "Batters up!" And I just swing back and hit the cloth bathtub with my mallet. I'm gonna play the 9 of clubs. That's a weapon attack, and it's higher than a 7 of diamonds, so it actually works great. And I like with like a resounding like boom, I like hit the back of the bathtub and just reverse it and send it flying back, and it re-enters the bathroom in Thatch's upper shoulder, and then just smashes out the back.
Wow.
And then re-enters one of the village's buildings and like lands like into the middle of someone's bedroom. Pick up a new tub.
I think it should. I was going to say, I feel like maybe it lands perfectly in someone's bathroom. And they were like, perfect. "Oh, I don't have to renovate anymore."
I think at the moment that like moment of contact and that pure ring, there's some rumble magic happening there, right? Like that's surely 100%. That's not just the strength of your shoulders, 100%. But there's something.
Definitely.
Let's see what else happens when that happens.
Can you give us one more thing?
Have we been tracking these?
Yeah. We have 2 left, so this is second last. A change of weather happens. Oh.
We got both dragon and fire thing in play.
Yeah, it's got to start raining. Right?
Yeah, I think it starts raining. Yeah.
Raining?
Yeah, that feels right.
Okay. The rain begins.
Kirkmas Prime, thank you for subscribing on YouTube.
I think it's time for Spoolie to get attacked, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So all or one says only one tubing.
Oh no.
So all are maybe dead. We're about to find out. Got
I've
3
drawn a
rooks
Jack of
around us.
Spades for this attack,
Ooh.
which is a pretty high number. It's an unarmed attack.
On me?
On you.
Well, I have no cards, so.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
You've
you're
got
taking
nothing.
that hit.
I
So-
could. Hold on.
What could you?
Wait, what can you do?
What could you do?
Hold on. Let me check.
I don't think there's anything you can do. I read the rules.
Well, I could use my card to introduce an exploration element, couldn't I?
You could. We don't know what that happens to the combat, but I would love to see it.
Do you guys want to see it? I don't know what it's gonna do. I don't think it's gonna do anything. But maybe
Do you
there's a
wanna
way
know
I could
how
use
Thatch
it.
is attacking you, or do you want to tell us? as
Yeah.
you introduce the
Tell
exploration?
me how I'm being attacked first, and then I'll tell you what we got.
Okay, so I think this time Thatch just is pretty enraged and just reaches down to just grasp you with its stone hands. It just wants to just pick you up and lift you into the air. So I think that's what's going on right now. What do you do, or what do you notice, or
I
what
think
part of your environment can you pull on?
I think the rain is coming down. We're in a mining village, right?
Yeah, there's mines above us, I think.
And I think everything is getting really muddy and just slick. And Spoolie is not doing so hot, off the apple mount still, on the ground, just like got to her feet. And now this hand of Thatch is reaching out to grab poor Spoolie. And so she notices, though, as she moves backwards and almost half falls into an abandoned city that exists beneath the surface of the land that was covered up. Yeah, that was where before the mines ever existed. Below where we are now, there was a city, and it was when they found the vein of gold down there that everyone moved up and just started digging further and further down, lowering basically everything. And so this is like a sunken city that exists in the mines that's been uncovered by this torrential downpour of rain and destruction. The ground being smashed, being shook.
Did you fall like into a building that
I think
is below
I
you,
fall
basically?
into another building below me, and I think although I don't have anything to defend with, it's just something that happens from stumbling into this abandoned city that exists below the surface of where we are. That no longer people are part of. What do you think?
I love that. I think that's super cool. So you fall out of view, and Thatch like
I think I still get hurt though, but
yeah. What if I wanted to intervene here? So what if Thatch like sees you fall, like it misses its first grab, and then like looks down into this like beautiful like library that you've fallen into or something, and it like starts to reach down to try to grab you from the inside. And as it does, I'm gonna play my King of Diamonds, which is a cool creative attack which will protect you from getting wounded. And I'm just gonna throw up a wall of ice that like finishes, like encloses the top of the library that you've fallen into, and so it just like smashes its hand against the ice, and you are safe inside for the time being.
cool as ice.
That leaves us with one final attack on Flats.
We gotta
You
spin.
want one wheel
We
spin?
got one wheel spin left.
Amazing.
Do you want the attack first for us to describe that? Also, am I supposed to be describing attacks? Have I not been doing that?
You can
Not
describe this
formally.
attack.
Oh, okay.
We didn't really organize ourselves very well.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to describe it? Is it this one? 5?
It's this one. 5 of clubs.
5
it's a weapon
of clubs?
attack.
Okay, it's a weapon attack.
Last attack in the battle.
Like, if I can't beat this, I think I'll die. So, you know, bear that in mind.
I think, does Thatch have, like, a tower? Like, does it have, like, a turret?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think the top of the construction is pointed. Thatch is a tower.
So I think Thatch removes the top of their tower so that now they're hollow at the top. And Thatch takes it in their hands and kind of rolls it around, spinning it up, making it faster, and is going to use it as like a
drill.
A drill.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Give us a spin.
Let's see. Maybe something lovely will happen. Saved by the wheel? Or respin?
Oh. More suspense. Come on.
Come on. Name an NPC.
Yeah.
Not super helpful. But, I mean, we could have a new character enter the fray.
No, I think I know what happens.
Okay. All right.
The top of the tower begins to spin faster and faster. As Thatch's hands move with that mechanical precision that really terrifies when rooks begin to leverage that parts of themselves. And it spins so quickly, it forms this perfect cone. And then with a toss, it skitters across the ground like a top. Each spot it lands, leaving a little indentation. Coming closer and closer to Birdie and to Flats. And then I'm going to play the 6 of diamonds.
He just beat it! That was your last card, right?
That's my last card.
Whoa!
Good job. 6 of diamonds.
Flats struggles to get up. Croaks out, wait. But then the top freezes. Stopped by a large foot. And a long shadow is cast by a figure of another rook. A rook that Flats has never seen before, but that carries in a belt a magnifying glass, a tiny little feather, and a scroll of parchment, just about the right size for sending a message to a person.
A letter writer!
A letter writer. Ink stops the top with the foot and then turns to us, and in something I think no one has seen before, a voice emerges from the depths of ink, who I want to say is this structure is what is, do you have thoughts, Anthony? What ink looks like?
What is it? It feels like it should be a place of like learning or communication. If it's really big, it could be a theater. It could be a giant library tower. It could
I think a library makes sense. Maybe like
Yeah.
a modest library, but certainly, a library.
Yeah.
And ink stops the top and turns to us, and a voice emerges from it. It says, "Now is not time. We," gesturing towards Flats, gesturing towards Birdie, gesturing towards Carmel, and then down below towards Spoolie, "have much left left to do. And with just a wave of Ink's hand, it's enough to send our aggressor away.
Thatch retreats into the hills. This looks like a nice place to end, as we are surrounded by all the things we were looking for. I'm suggesting maybe we'd have just 3 little codas endings here as each one of us concludes our stories, at least for now. Does that sound okay?
That sounds perfect. Yeah.
I like it.
Cool. Can I go first?
Yeah.
Of course.
I have effectively locked my dear new friend Spoolie into an ancient building by closing up the only gap in it with an ice wall. So I quickly run over and like brush aside the ice wall and climb down to like maybe I'll make an ice staircase to descend in to find you, Spoolie. And as I help you up, I look around at the walls, and the walls of this sort of library building that we're in, or like hall of like, museum, something of that sort, this ancient building, are covered in paintings, murals of a beautiful old town, maybe the town that it is part of, and you can see rooklings patrolling through the streets, but beside them, humanoid figures walking with them, beside them, and then above, giant rooks watching over all of them. Spoolie!
Yeah?
Flats! This looks like the place. The place we were looking for.
Oh.
Maybe it's not a place that exists, but one that existed. I help Spoolie back out if you want to come out, and run off to tell Flats, and I'll let you continue that story. But as I do, I think I am struck by the giant pyro rook that is still looking over this entire scene, and I think I start to climb the long steps up to where the pyro rook is waiting, and it just stands there, completely motionless, like a building. As I get close to it, I try to talk to it. I've been dreaming of you. I can see through your eyes. But there's no response. Maybe it doesn't understand me. And I close my eyes, like trying to get a sense of like what I should do here, trying to dream for a moment. And then it strikes me. And I lift the crystalline helmet off my head. And for both of you, if you're looking, it's the first time you would have ever seen Carmel without the helmet on.
What do your eyes look like?
They are now a deep, actually like a really light icy blue, but it's hard to know if that's how they started. The skin is scarred and pockmarked with the sort of holes that come from frostbite, accumulated over many years, and I take off the helmet, I look at it, and then I offer it up towards the pyro rook that stands above me. Your brother. It was all I could save. But I thought I'd bring it home. and a hand the size of a house reaches out, and there's an open window, which I drop the skull, or the crystal into, and it closes and turns and begins to leave fiery footsteps as it walks away across the stairs.
Sick. Spoolie. What do we see of that story?
So I think after Spoolie climbs back out, she stumbles in the wreckage, searching for her mount.
Oh, yeah.
And she finds it. But it's not in great shape.
You got kicked.
However, it does seem to have attracted something. And I think that the dragon rook is nudging it with its nose. And Spoolie is just in awe of what she's seeing. The dragon, all of the legends have said that the dragon rook is this fearsome beast that she knows people have been hunting, that to kill means you get to fly. And yet, this dragon doesn't seem like the monster that people have made it out to be. In fact, this dragon has saved Spoolie's life. I think as she looks at the dragon, she sees the scars on its hide. She sees how the world has treated it. And even though she's there and she thinks, if I did want to fly, if I wanted to gain that power, this would be a pretty good moment if I had the combat score, which I don't. And instead of fighting the dragon, she approaches the dragon rook with her head bowed and her arms outstretched, just in the hopes of getting closer to it and understanding it. And is surprised, and yet not surprised, when the dragon doesn't attack her. Perhaps there was a place where at one time rooks and humans and all beings on this land lived in harmony. And perhaps the reason that we have become as we are is because it is a path that we have chosen.
We see flats. Still, maybe a little more lopsided than before. Collarbone injury that never quite healed. Flats looks a little older, standing in front of a group of children, human children, and also rooklets. Flats is talking about the history of the world, everything that they know. But partway through a sentence, there's a rumbling, a voice that seems to echo across this library and also emanate from it, as Ink says, "No, that's not quite how I understand it," and chimes in to flow the discussion, to shape the understanding, to combine a certain knowledge of what's collected of this place. And I think that's all we see, just a little glimpse of maybe something better.
Amazing. And that is a little taste of Colossal.
That was really
Um,
fun.
That was really cool. You can just imagine all the places that it could take you, all the
That'd
adventures you could have.
be a great campaign game. I could see it being. But I mean,
Well, the
like
great news on this one, Amanda,
every
is that you can have your campaign all by
session.
yourself.
That's true. Every session, every writing session that you're journaling is like a different room,
Mm-hmm.
a different area.
And I think if you're even a little faster than us, you can get through a number of exploration phases on a single session.
Well, the nice thing too
I'm
is when
sure.
you play solo, it's like you could play for as little or as long as you want. It's really just up to like
Totally.
how long do you want to sit and imagine and write for. And the fact that you also play it with cards is like you could just travel with a deck of cards and like an iPad or a notebook.
Yeah, right?
It's
So
like
portable.
very portable and very like just a good little write. I also really like this world that you could build. Like, you know, it reminds me of stuff that I used to love to write back when I put more time into my creative writing.
Yeah.
I used to love writing fantasy worlds that were kind of like quirky and just kind of like they weren't quite right. Like there was something that was like off about them that needed to be like not necessarily fixed, but kind of solved or understood, or there were weird ways that the world worked that were just contrary to everything you thought you knew about how the world's supposed to work. So I really like this idea because it is kind of this reality warp. It's like taking what you think you know about what a castle can be and kind of cracking open that concept a bit.
Yeah, I think it's just such a fun, like, sweet, adventurous world to create. Like, just it's just very like pure imaginative of like, what if the world was a giant castle? What would that be like?
What if the world was a giant castle? Like it feels like anything is possible in the world, and I think that's super cool.
Yeah, I
On
think
like
it'd
a
be really
micro
fun.
macro scale too.
That's true. I think it'd be really fun to play a longer game of Colossal and dig into like the why, because it's like there's this grand mystery at the heart of this game, which is like, you know, like what's the nature of this world? Why are there giant skeletons? Why do these rooks roam this place? What is in the battlements? I think that would be super sick to spend a bunch of time building your own answers for those questions.
Yeah, it absolutely would.
We're pretty late here.
We are.
Should we wrap up? I'm tired.
I'm tired too. Good job though, everyone. We made it through. I had so much fun playing this. Goodness. I also just love this combat system. I think it's really, really fun and
Cool.
interesting. Atomic Sorcery said this may be a bias, but those are a lot of the reasons I like Ironsworn.
Yeah, another well-respected, beloved even solo RPG. So
Sick.
please, folks, if you're looking for opportunities, there's Colossal, there's Ironsworn, and there's others out there, out there, out there.
Well, this has been delightful. I hope, chat, you had a good time. I hope that Kurt and Anthony, you had a good time. And thank you so much to everybody that stuck around with us, that stopped by, that chatted or followed or subscribed. Thank you to
Or Drew?
or Drew
Yeah, I
Atomic
gotta go look at
Surgery.
that art actually.
Or gifted subs, DiCarlo. Thank you so much. Honestly, I feel like the wheel spins also just like added a little bit more of like an oomph to some of the things here today. So that was some good wheel picks, Kurt, especially considering you weren't familiar with the rules for this game, but these are some really good prompts for the wheel. So yeah, that was really cool. Are there any parting words, Kurt, Anthony, that you would like to add here?
I'd like to just thank Nick Angel for making this game and for gifting me the books once upon a time to make this happen. Thanks for letting us play your game on stream. Thanks for sharing with me, telling us all about it. It was a beautiful game, super fun. And if you're interested in playing Colossal, getting a taste of this for yourself, you can find everything on colossal.com. And there's an amazing Discord for Colossal as well, where people are sharing their stories and their sort of discoveries from their world of Colossal, which I think sounds really fun. I know I'm just sort of new to the world of solo RPGs, so all of this is just like brand new and exciting to me. But it just all seems so beautiful to have a community of people supporting each other and telling cool stories themselves. So So go check it out and support Nick. And that's all that I got. Kurt, you have anything you want to say?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a couple things today, actually. Thing number one, as with the last time we played, it is still possible to get a bundle of Majora's Mask inspired games all together uh, in a nice little set, a nice little collection. For the next 2 days, you can still get 12 Majora's Mask games for $10. Look up the Majora's Mask tabletop bundle. Give it a little looky-loo. You should be able to find it. It's out there.
Is it this one?
Let's find out.
I put it in chat.
Sure is. Thanks,
Hey,
Amanda.
no
I can't be
problem.
dropping links out there.
I got you. Yeah. I also am like, I should look at that. $10 is a good deal.
It's a good deal. It's a good deal even if it was just for the door locks behind you, which is a stellar little puzzle game. But point two, I got a second plug, and then I got a looky cummy uppy. Point two, if you like solo games, good friend of mine named Ian, who co-designed Here We Used to Fly with me, is launching a wrestling solo game pretty soon. It's called 5-Star Match. You can just search that up on Google. The pre-launch page is up. You are running a wrestling business, and you're sending your wrestlers to have their weird little wrestling stories and dramas. It's obviously done with a love of the art. It's neat and weird and fun. And as a last thing, next week we are not going to be playing a game, but we will be here. We are going to talk about what we will be doing for our next thing. We're going to be doing a campaign of one of 3 options. And we're just going to come on, we're going to chat, we're going to talk about what we want, we're going to maybe share with you what might be expected if you choose to weigh in. And yeah, come in, it'll just be a chill time, and then when we come back after that, we will be telling a more long-form story over a few episodes. So keep an eye out, and thanks for listening to my big spiel today. Haha, bet you didn't expect I had that much to say.
I'm very excited. One, for cute little just chatting. Let's figure out what to do next stream. That'll be so fun. We just get to joke around and have a good time the whole time and not have to play games. Talk about some
things and not have to worry about our tangents getting in the way of that.
And then I'm so excited for the campaign. Oh my god, guys.
I'm so excited too. It's gonna be really fun. That sounds lovely. I'm delighted. Well, that's it, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Oh my gosh, an ad break. I didn't say that could happen. Well, I'm sorry to those of you that are on Twitch that may have been sent to the ads as we say goodbye. But thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you to Christopher as well, saying I want to thank all 3 of you, especially Amanda, for putting this together. Oh, do not thank. I mean, technically, I feel like Kurt was the one that brought us together initially. So really, I think Kurt deserves that thanks. But I appreciate you, Christopher. Perhaps I was part of bringing it to you, the viewers, as I
foundational. It would not have happened if you hadn't said, we should stream this,
we could stream this, yeah. And it's been delightful. So I cannot wait for our next little campaign that we'll be playing. And make sure you join us next time we're all on. It might be next Monday, or it might be near Monday in the future. TBD. So stay tuned. But usually we gather on Mondays. Nicholas, hello! We are just heading out, but I appreciate you stopping by to say hi. I'll see y'all again real soon. When am I back? I'm back on Wednesday at 8 a.m., hopefully, to play some Bandletale in the AM from 8 to 12. And then I gotta go because I got a photo shoot. But then I'll be back in the evening to talk comics with you guys with Uptown Duck. And then on Thursday, I will be back at 5 p.m. EST to play some BG3. And then after that, I have a collab stream with Sasha that I'll be doing on my channel on Twitch and YouTube, where we're going to be talking about Deadpool Samurai, which is a Deadpool manga. That is really fun, actually. I can't wait to talk to Sasha about it and see what her thoughts were from Casually Comics. So join me. Stay tuned. That's all coming to you. And until next time, friends, stay nerdy and go to sleep. Or don't. I don't know what time it is when you're watching this. I don't know. But sleep at some point, because it's good for you. Unless you're a robot. Or unless you're a rook. I don't know. Do rooks sleep?
Whoa. We'll have to find out in your own game, Colossal.
Yeah. All right.